Hello, everybody. Welcome to Nintendo Pow Block here on Boss Rush Network. I'm your host, and Light Excited 83. Joining me is the one, the only bossman himself, Mr. Corey Dirrig. Hello, good sir.
Hello, Edward. How are you? How's it going?
I am staying warm. We'll be talking about some things for Snacktendo, and so everybody kind of seen this hoodie. Academy of Super Pets. Stephanie did an interview about the game with one of the designers.
I think she did it with like 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah. Well, because I think it was last year. No. Yeah, it was last year. PAX East, actually. The day before the day I was getting ready to leave, and I was just saying everybody I had seen them. And I didn't know that they did an interview, but I was just like, oh, I seen this hoodie. I'm just like, oh, I gotta get the hoodie and stuff. The reason I bring it in, everybody's seen this hoodie on Pow Block and stuff for a long time, but a customer actually, I had customers ask me about the game. I talked to them about it. I'm like, I got it here. We promoted us also, but the short story of it is that when I saw them at PAX East last year, I bought one by the hoodie. They had just released their game that day. So I had congratulated them on their release and stuff. So, it was kind of cool to get compliments back here at home for people looking at the hoodie and saying, oh, that's interesting. Now check that out. I'm like, yeah, it's on iOS, it's on mobile, Google Play stuff. You guys go check it out. If you like it, go and support them and everything. So it was really cool for that to happen, for people to recognize, gaming, and just recognize, even when we did it, Corey, that, or like when we went to PAX East as a team for the first time, people recognized who Boss Rush was. I'm like, that's a good feeling when you're kind of being seen. And everything. Or if people do see you for the first time or never heard of you, you talk to them, you network with them and everything, and you give them a shout out, because that's kind of what I was doing at PAX West when we was having conversations in the media room, talking to different podcasters on certain games and questions and stuff, and just connecting with them and everything. It just feels so good to do stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah, man. Coughing. Gross. Man, I went outside. I hope I'm not getting sick. I'll be fine.
I went outside to go get the mail today and took the garbage back and came right back inside and been here since. I literally, maybe 2 hours ago, I just cut off my Nintendo Switch too, because I've been playing it a lot today. Actually, Thursday and Friday, I've been playing a lot.
I've been playing it a lot, but I've been resetting it a lot because of, well, let's just say Fire Emblem is really hard.
You haven't did the rewind function, right?
There's no rewind on GameCube. It's the only one without it.
I thought it was.
Mm-mm.
Oh, no.
If there is, I haven't found it, but there's the suspend function where you can kind of like do save states, but there's no rewind because all the buttons are the GameCube controller is, literally, and like all the buttons do something. So, because it's a GameCube game.
Wow.
So there's no rewind function. You have to use the suspend tab and create a suspend point or whatever. I'm like literally doing that almost after every turn now. So I'm trying to keep everyone alive, man. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's very hard. I forgot how hard the GameCube game was, or maybe I'm just dumb and just got worse at the game.
No, I text you. I was just like, oh no. I'm like, Fire Emblem has always been like that. It has always been a challenge. That's why when Fire Emblem Awakening,
and
they changed the difficulty, for it and made it and balanced the game and stuff, and it caught on wildfire. That's what helped people recognize the Fire Emblem series and made it is to what it is, and used its old style for the harder difficulties. Be like, if you've been used to our games and stuff, and you want that challenge, you want that smoke, go to hard. But let's make this more easier because it's our last game. Maybe people may be coming to it. Man, the 3DS is. I would have to give it up to the 3DS for making Fire Emblem and Monster Hunter the the biggest franchises of now, of bringing in people into the series, because I know that LeBron has so much history with Fire Emblem. I mean, not Fire Emblem, Monster Hunter, and I love him for that. I could go to him and he's like an encyclopedia about it. But man, when Monster Hunter 4 came out, because even Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate on Wii U, as low, I don't know about the sales, but like for some reason people were getting into it, but it was still niche. It was still kind of couple from out of the blue. Monster Hunter 4 blew up everywhere.
Well, the first time I ever saw Monster Hunter was my friend Joey from way back in the day. He would bring, when we would get together to play Destiny and we were waiting for people to get on, he brought his 3DS to play Monster Hunter, and he was playing Monster Hunter 4 on the 3DS, and I was like, what are you playing? He's like, Monster Hunter, it's cool. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and I think that was the first time that it had been off of PlayStation, because I think
no, because Monster Hunter was actually on the Wii and the 3D and the DS, because they talk to each other.
That is right.
And then it was Monster Hunter Tri was on the Wii and the DS, and then the Wii U got 3 Tri Ultimate, 3 Ultimate, one of those. And then it talked to the 3DS version. You could actually play multiplayer with the 3DS version. So it was actually off of PlayStation for a long time. It didn't return to proper consoles until World,
right? Because
it was on PSP also.
Yeah, because it's okay. Yeah, that is right. I said the wrong thing. I was thinking of. I thought that Tri and 3 also came to PlayStation, or those 2 games were some iteration off of the PlayStation 2 one. I thought.
I mean, I'm not 100% sure on that. I just know it was on
a Nintendo console,
on 3DS and DS and PSP. So
okay. Yeah. So I'm sorry, everybody. But yeah, because
nerd.
Because Monster Hunter 4 had that silver and blue 3DS when it came out. It was like a special edition.
Yeah, because it had blue with like that silver kind of Monster Hunter logo on it, and my friend Joey really wanted it.
That mug was hard to find.
Yeah, speaking of hard to find, I was just randomly looking at the Fire Emblem 3DS, like the actual special edition new 3DS XL today.
Yeah,
because we were talking about old video games and how like certain games have dropped in price and how certain consoles have actually gone up because of how hackable they are.
The 3DS has been that for some unknown reason. Everybody's been talking about it. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I was like, man, I wonder how much that 3DS is now. And it's like, you can find one complete in box with the game for $500, which is like, that's expensive, but it's not as much as I thought it was going to be. So I don't know. I thought about it for a hot minute. I was like, man, Sana would kill me if I bought a $500 3DS that I'm not going to play. I just want it because it has Fire Emblem on the front of it.
But I mean, that's how That's how a lot of people were. They were just like people have been looking for old 3DSs so they can mod them for some reason. And I'm like,
yeah, they're easy to mod. They found there's been a new not recently, but probably like 6 months ago, there was a new vulnerability found in like one of the firmwares. If you like factory reset a new 3DS XL, a new 3DS XL specifically, whatever that vulnerability is that it launched with, it is like really easy to mod and hack. So I don't know.
So no wonder people have been trying to rebuy them and they've been jumping up in price. I'm just like,
I thought about buying another one, but I was like, maybe I'll just get a 2DS XL, like another one, like maybe that white and orange one or whatever. Those are just as expensive. I'm like,
oh wow,
I'm glad I kept mine.
yeah, I got my Legend, the Legend of Zelda, Link Between World one, 3DS. I still got with the gold and stuff. That one is still working. I have some other ones, but they like kind of don't work and stuff. Because I still have my Pokemon 3DS and stuff. Or it might have been the 2DS. It might have been a 2DS.
If I was gonna get a 3DS, it would be the Fire Emblem one now. Like just to like, get one. But
because you can't really do nothing with it or anything.
No, I just want it to have a Fire Emblem 3DS. Because I like Fire Emblem, and I want also that's the only way you can get Revelations now. The third part of Fates that's because it was DLC if you didn't get the cartridge, right? So
yeah.
I mean, I have the full game downloaded on my 2DS. So I have the physical version of Birthright and Conquest. But I have the whole game digitally downloaded on my 2DS. So that's like one of the only games I have entirely digitally because of you can't get it physically unless you buy that specific version.
Did they ever do a bundle version of both games in the DLC?
Yeah, it's the only way you can get it is if you bought that 3DS.
Oh.
It comes with a physical of it. The cart is just called Fire Emblem Fates, and it has all 3 games on it.
Oh no! I thought they also did a digital bundle. No,
I mean,
just that cart.
I mean, you can if you. So here's the thing: if you buy one of the games for $40, right?
Yeah.
The other 2 games are $20 a piece
to make it an $80 collection.
To make it an $80 experience. So that's the bundle, right? And that's why I think that's why people want Fire Emblem Fates HD on the Switch and Switch 2, it was rumored for so long, is because you can't get it physically. Like you just can't get the entire game physically.
Right.
Unless you pay that exorbitant amount of money.
Because Fates is the dark side is the purple and black.
Well, it's like I don't know. I think they want you to think Conquest is the bad side and Birthright is the good side, but I think like Revelations, I think, is like the true story of like you truly make your own choices to make the outcome right, because it's all about, and it's what Fates try to do what Three Houses did so well. Of like, it's about it's about perspective of the stories that they're telling, not the stories themselves. And so, like, if you play Three Houses as like, and you join the Blue Lions or the Gold Eagles or whatever, or what is it? I don't know. No, the gold, whatever the yellow house is. Like Edelgard, the Black Eagles are the bad guys because they're like, they come off as like, dominant and like, some people like to throw around the word fascist. I think that term gets thrown around very loosely. these days. Some obviously some political things it's warranted and some it isn't, but not to make this a political podcast, but like, she's always looked at it as like, that's the house, that's the bad guy house. But like, if you play through that, she's fighting against that to try to make a better world for where, she rules, or she'll end up ruling. And so it's just like this whole thing. Anyways, not important. Fates try to do that first. Fates try to do the three houses thing first, and it didn't quite go as well because you had to buy the three separate games
stories
to do it correctly. So I actually think if that game was re-released as one package, it would be fine. I actually got my 3DS out and charged it because I've been playing the GameCube game, right? Which we'll get into and playing with power, but I've really been wanting to go back and revisit Fates specifically.
Before you go on, can I say I love the box art for Fates for both of them?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean it's very. I like the box art for the 3DS itself.
Yes.
I still want that 3DS. I might figure out a way to try to get that at some point. But
go ahead, continue. I'm sorry.
I don't remember what I was saying at this point. But anyways, I just I plugged in my 3DS because I've been so into Fire Emblem the last few weeks, the GameCube one, which is hilarious because I'm not very far in it at all, which I'll explain why later. But it's just I want to go back and because now that I'm like really understand Fire Emblem and what it is and what it could be, and like I really want to go back to Awakening and see kind of how, like, because I haven't really played Awakening since it came out, or since right before Fates came out actually, and I want to go back and see like how, okay, this is kind of where modern Fire Emblem started, let's go back and kind of see what it's all about, and I actually thought about going back to the Wii version at some point too. I'll have to buy it again, but that's a different story. But
day.
I also know the Wii version is much harder than the GameCube version, and I'm like really struggling with the GameCube version. So, I don't know. Maybe the 3DS ones are where you start at, but we'll get there.
Yeah, I think Nintendo of Japan, I would say, I'm not gonna say Nintendo of America, but Nintendo of Japan, I think they probably didn't suspect that Fire Emblem Awakening would not only jumpstart its iconic history to Americans and Europeans, people outside of the East who haven't played their games. But I think, of course, sales wise, they were like really happy to see the sales wise and kept going this route. But I think Intelligent System was probably just like, oh wow, we got something, and bringing in this new team, this young fresh team, and bouncing off ideas and stuff that it would just little changes, or the changes that we made will make people into our, will make this series into what it is today, and like treating it almost like it's a Mario game or Legend of Zelda or something. So now that it's in a higher tier of being recognized and doing well for sales, because I'm like, they just like after Awakening, Fire Emblem has been hit after hit. Not so much when they re-release some of the older games that never came to America, but they remade them and they thought it would be something there, but it didn't hit well and stuff. And then Three Houses came out, and then it was that refresh again to it, but this time it was in the hands of Koei Tecmo. A little bit of an Intelligent System because it's their IP and they're gonna manage them stuff.
Yeah, but they were working on Paper Mario at the time, obviously. So
yeah,
yeah.
And so I think yeah, and we talked about engage and stuff like that. And we kind of had the discussion before, but it was just like I think people don't recognize just like during the DS and 3DS days, and mostly 3DS, just a lot of companies and a lot of IPs like really jumped off from from that system. Bravely Default, that change that allowed for a lot of the 2D HD games to have that kind of battle system, like even with Octopath Traveler and stuff. But I'm like, that really got Square Enix back into the good graces of Nintendo. And yes, Nintendo and Square Enix did work some stuff out because Dragon Quest 9 is only on DS. You can't play it nowhere else. And they were remaking a lot of those Dragon Quest games and stuff. And so for them to have the success that they had and everything, even though Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy were big with Square Enix, and a little bit of Tomb Raider and Steven Dogs and stuff like that, when it came to the JRP spot, in a sense, Bravely Default somehow kicked everything off once again for Square Enix. And it's just like the numbers don't lie. And they were making, and don't forget not JRPGs. Bravely Default was only $40. And it made Square Enix a lot of money when they were losing a lot of money. You know, so it was just like it would. I think that's why nowadays companies who kind of bankrolled off the 3DS and now bankrolling and then bankrolled off the Switch, it kind of realized that when it came to having good relations with Nintendo, it just takes time and stuff. And I think that's why even me and you, Corey, talked over years. I think that's why I personally, for me, I was getting on Western third party. Just like, what are you doing? Why are you not supporting Nintendo? If you think it's because of the money, I'm like, the Nintendo players want to play your games, and so they would give you the money. So look what happened. And I'm not blaming Call of Duty or anything, but like that was kind of the way of thinking that American companies, the West, was running things at a point in time. And then, son of all, Japan got their spot back. And just started racking up. That's why Capcom start being good and everything with Monster Hunter and then the Resident Evil engine and all of that stuff. Capcom was getting their spot because Capcom was getting dogged. Konami, of course, with Metal Gear and stuff, with Hideo Kojima, they got dogged and stuff. But I'm like, Konami games started swelling again once Bomberman came out on Switch. And they refocused their whole business. And it just felt like companies out of Japan who stopped trying to be American and kind of showcase what they were about and who they're about started making them money. And the gaming business, it's a big history if you have been into this gaming. I won't say gaming lifestyle, but if you've been a person in the gaming culture and have seen these transitions business wise and game wise, you kind of recognize why now we're kind of in the spot that we're in a sense.
Well, I mean, we talked about it all along where like Nintendo, whether it was intentional or not, actually like made the right decision in terms of making cheaper games and cheaper hardware because of just the way that games, how expensive they are to make these days. Like we were talking about that tonight at dinner. It was like my cousin and his friends, like they like games, but they don't really understand like the industry or like, they're not in it like we are. They just like to play games. Like they really like Uncharted and God of War, right? And so like they're like, man, I feel like it's been forever since we got an Uncharted game. I'm like, yeah, it's been 10 years. And I was like, God of War and Uncharted still aren't on PlayStation 5,
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, I guess you're right. And like, because like we used to play those games and then go out on Black Friday and do shopping and stuff like that was kind of like a thing a while ago for us. But you know, they were talking like, man, I could really play a new God of War game or a new Uncharted game. And I was like, yeah, well, you know, I mean, games take forever now, and that's why, like, you know, it's why I always laugh when people are like, or like get not angry, but like, you look at Nintendo's output for let's just take the last 6 months for Switch 2, right? Since launch, really, right? You look at their first party output, right? And I'm going to include Switch 2 version as Switch 1 games in here too. So just, I understand, but just whatever. Mario Kart World, Nintendo Switch Welcome Tour, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Dragon Drive, Pokemon Legends ZA, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, Animal Crossing, Switch 2 Edition, right? Like, what? I'm missing something in there.
Mario Party Jamboree,
2 Kirby games, and
Hyrule Warrior Age of Imprisonment.
I mean, that's what, 10 games in the first 6 months, and like
Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, but like you look at those and it's like, I mean, even if you include Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, that's 12, 13 games, right? In 6 months, maybe. And people are complaining that like Nintendo's output is odd or weird or not there or whatever. And it's like, first of all, you got a brand new Donkey Kong game that's essentially your 3D Mario for this launch, right?
Right.
You got Metroid Prime 4. You got a new Mario Kart. You got a new Pokemon game. You got expansions to, you know, one of the good Kirby games that people consider very good. You got Kirby Air Riders, a sequel that nobody really asked for, but like, you know, people were excited for. And then, you know, updates to like a lot of great games, you know, and it's like Sony put out 1 game last year. 2 if you count Death Stranding, right? Like, they put out Ghost of Tsushima last year. That was their game last year. And okay, they published Stellar Blade and Rise of the Ronin.
But that's only publishing. That's something that was not in their company.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, even if you count those games, it's what, 4 games in a year when Nintendo put out 12 games in 6 months. And like, that just goes to show you like Nintendo's commitment to strategy, budget, you know, working with the right developers to work with their IP, right? With Hyrule Warriors. You look at taking the time to make versions for your new console, even though the other versions work just fine. I mean,
yeah,
you know, relatively speaking.
Because in reality, Corey, Series X and PlayStation 5 did that, and when they first released their systems,
that's what I'm saying. People were praising Microsoft for smart delivery, remember? Yeah. Because like all their games were going to work on Xbox One and Series X, and depending on which console you owned, it just knew which one to install, right? Like that was like, people were praising them and wondering why Sony wasn't doing that, because they were, you know, initially, so at the beginning, Sony was like, well, maybe we'll charge for them, maybe we won't. Some of them had $10 upgrades, right? And some of them didn't, like Horizon didn't have one, right? And so like, it's just, the audience is going to be mad at like, it doesn't matter what it is, the audience is going to be mad at something. You're never going to please anyone. And I think you look at, you know, the Switch 2 especially, and it's like, this is everything I wanted from a new iteration of the Switch, right? Like, it made it added some innovative features like the mouse controls. It added graphical enhancements like frame rate and HDR and 4K and whatever, which, I mean, doesn't really matter to me, but like, it's like they just made a better version of it that makes everything else better. And that's what I wanted. And if I have to pay $10 to upgrade or $20, like, you know, like Mario Wonder, you upgrade $20 for the expansion and have it run better and look better and add features or whatever. It's like, sure, yeah, I will always support developers who are trying to make their games better.
Right.
And, you know, some of the updates are free. Some of them are 10, some of them are 20, depending on what they're adding. But like, you know, it's just like, okay, well, now we are looking at 2026, right? And you and I have already named like 6 or 7 games that Nintendo's already working on without even touching, like, oh, they're adding content to Donkey Kong Country Returns HD, which we'll get to in Family News. For free.
That's a crazy thing.
They're adding a playable character and new modes and new whatever, which, I mean, probably should have been a $10 update, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, the fact that all that's coming for free to both versions of the game, right? The Switch and the Switch 2 version.
Yeah.
And it's just, you know, for free. And like, man, the graphical enhancements, I don't know if you watched the trailer and when they showed off the graphical enhancements for the Switch 2 version, it's like, oh my gosh, look at the work they just did. Like, I thought going from the Wii to the Switch it looked really good, you know? But like, you ask other studios to do that to their games. And I just think that's why Nintendo stands the test of time across the board, right? And like, like I said earlier, I'm playing Fire Emblem Path of Radiance right now. And it's like, they went through a lot to make sure that their GameCube emulator ran at a specific frame rate and a specific resolution. I mean, Fire Emblem runs at 1080p, and like, it looks, I'm playing it on a 65-inch 4K TV, and it looks incredible. It looks incredible. It's like, this is all I've ever wanted was an HD GameCube, and they gave it to me. They gave it to me. And like,
I got to start it so I can see it, but I know what you mean, dude.
I mean, even look at Wind Waker, right? I mean, I'm sure you started up Wind Waker at some point just to look at it. And it's like,
gorgeous.
I mean, it runs at 900p on the GameCube emulator, and it's like, it looks almost as good. It looks almost as good as the Wii U version. Not quite, because, well, I think the GameCube or the Wii U version looks better, but still.
But then that gives you hope of, if I see Twilight Princess and Wind Waker HD, like straight 4K 60, it's going to look insane. There are 2 different art styles. Twilight Princess is going to be mind-bogglingly gorgeous. I'm just going to look at, if I see Wind Waker HD 4K on Switch 2, I'm like, I want pictures. All I want is going to be pictures. It's going to be hard to start the game because Nintendo knows how to use their art.
Yeah, and we were saying that all the way back then with the GameCube, right? And like, how people were calling Wind Waker Zelda and all that stuff, right? And it's like, I mean, again, I would be lying if I said I was excited for that version of Zelda, right? I was like, because they showed that Space World demo. I mean, we've talked about it quite a bit on the show, where like, you know, basically an upgraded version of the Ocarina of Time of that version of Link fighting Ganon, and that looked so good, and we were like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to play that Zelda. And then we got Wind Waker, and it's like, oh my gosh, this looks ridiculous, especially since we got like Mario Sunshine looked great, and we were on the verge of getting Metroid Prime, or Metroid Prime had just come out. I forget which one came out first, but like, you know, Metroid Prime looked amazing, and it's like, we're going back to this cartoony Zelda looking thing. Like, where's the good looking Zelda we saw at Space World? But then you play it and you realize, oh my gosh, this plays great. And then, you know, as you grow, you learn this, oh, this is going to hold up for a lot longer than something. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Twilight Princess, but Wind Waker's art style definitely aged much better than Twilight Princess's did.
Yeah,
for the most part, right? So
that's why Twilight Princess HD, when that came out on Wii U, I'm like, good googly moogly, this game looks insanely great. amazing, and it's
Yeah.
cleaner. I'm just like, yeah.
I just I want those HD versions. I wouldn't put it past Nintendo, obviously, to like. I mean, look, this is the 20th anniversary of Twilight Princess, right? It's the 40th anniversary of Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
That game is coming to NSO, or that game is coming to Switch 2 in one form or another.
We have a question about it, and I know we got thoughts, so I kind of want to save it for that. But go ahead.
What's the question?
We have a question from Discord. Is in the question person.
Okay. So we'll get to that in a little bit, but like,
yeah,
I really think that I don't know, man. I think Nintendo's gonna be like, the movie is the 40th anniversary celebration, and here's Twilight Princess and NSO. No, you know what they're gonna do? You know what they're gonna do for NSO? They're gonna put freaking Four Swords Adventures in there. It's the 40th anniversary, and there's 4 links
for the summer.
We're clever, and everybody's be like, "No, you suck. Give us the games."
Well, I think Anuma and the team, and Monolith Soft, I think they're
remaking it from the ground up. That'd be amazing. What if that was what if that was Monolith's next project? Was a ground up remake of Twilight Princess. Oh man, I would cry. I would cry so hard. I would cry.
But then I'd be like, where's the pre-order button at?
Right. Laker 2020 is in the chat. I want Wind Waker and Twilight HD, but one is an NSO and the other I think needs a totally be redone, Corey, or remake. What?
I would if they give me Zelda 2 remake in like the Breath of the Wild universe.
No, see, I think Grezzo will remake it from the ground up. I think Grezzo has done a great job at their remakes and their
yes, they have
one-offs, right? Like Echoes of Wisdom was great, Link's Awakening was great. I think those 2D sections in Link's Awakening shows you what Grezzo wants to do for a Zelda 2 remake. And I think that's the Zelda game. I actually think Zelda 2 is the game we get this year, a remake of Zelda 2. And then Princess will show up in NSO, and then the movie will end. And we'll get like a new line of Zelda amiibo or something, or they'll just re-release the ones they already made, right? Because like,
dude, I could just and we're gonna get this next to though. But
we're having a good
discussion. I know, but because I want to say the Zelda discussion for the question, and I think
we'll just ask the question now, and we'll just talk about it.
No, because I don't want this person to miss that question. I want to respect their question to with everybody else's. No, because this is the things that I foresee for Zelda. Whatever they do this year for Zelda is whatever. I think Anuma the team and Monolith Soft is ready to show new trailer. I think we are going to get a Legend of Zelda trailer in 2027. I mean, in this year. But I think Jeff Keighley is going to fight for that to get it. And I'm just like, you're going to use if Jeff Keighley gets if Jeff Keighley gets the exclusive trailer to show off the Legend of Zelda movie, that's going to jump the Game Awards viewership. So even if anything goes wrong, they're literally gonna that trailer will save the Game Awards. That's a smart business move on both parts, but I don't know yet. I think in the summer, for the summer direct, we'll definitely see the next Zelda. I think we'll see 3D Mario, and we'll see the next Zelda, because right now, I think right now people want to see, what do you guys have? What are you guys doing? Because
I actually have a thought that would be really cool, and I think this wouldn't. So I do think Twilight Princess is coming to NSO. But I think
yeah.
I wonder if Grezzo is going to remake the first game in the style of, the Link's Awakening or something like that, a full remake of the first game, and just like make it modern, which I would totally be down with, actually.
Yeah, because there's some things the first one can be used to be remade in a sense.
Yeah.
I do agree with you, but I wonder if they do remake it, do you do a full
Yes, you do a full remake. You do a full like top down, almost 2D, A Link Between Worlds, Link's Awakening style.
But because this is the problem, a lot of the bosses are reused in a lot of the Legend of Zelda. So I'm thinking,
Well, I mean,
like,
you can like, I mean, obviously you can like change the bosses a little bit, but like,
well,
I think
do you Samus return it like with Mercury's theme? That
I
you
mean,
do
yeah.
have some bosses, but then you add new stuff to the game that wasn't in the original.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I think you could like definitely look at the bosses and be like, oh, well, these bosses are clearly like palette swapped and made, either minor enemies later or mid bosses or whatever later, right? Like you can definitely do that, but also you can be like, oh, well, maybe we just take The Legend of Zelda, remake the game faithfully, but then use classic Zelda bosses from other games and use those as the dungeon bosses instead of like palette swapped versions of the other bosses.
Yeah.
And then you could also do like the second quest also in there.
Ooh.
Right? Like you could also do that and to make the game more, replayable, because that will, and maybe you can like carry stuff over or whatever. But I don't know. I'm just thinking of ways you could celebrate The Legend of Zelda without like angering a bunch of people, right? Because like there are definitely things you could add to NSO. You could add the Master Quest, right, of Ocarina, which was on GameCube. You could add Twilight Princess, which I know that would be the one that would make a lot of people angry because they want the HD versions, right? But
because we got most of the games on NSO.
Yeah, I think remaking that first game in a modern yet classic style would celebrate the franchise while also like not angering a lot of the fan base.
Yeah, because I know they're like the cosplay is going to be insane. I think people dressing up as Zelda, Link, and other characters from the games. I think people are going to be making new costumes. Definitely for the movie. Like I would not be surprised to see little kids dressed as Link and Princess and Zelda, or even Ganon. Like I could see these buff guys, maybe buff ladies too, or buff. I can see the people who work out who buff come as Ganondorf and or Daddy Dorf for some people.
We went totally different direction with this than what we were talking about, but okay.
No, because I think people will celebrate like you do the games, you do the announcements, people celebrate with having birthday parties or parties to celebrate Legend of Zelda podcasts, and people dress up in costumes from the Zelda universe, and then it concludes with the Zelda movie that everybody's gonna be wearing all of that. So we do get the Zelda 1 or Zelda 2 remakes, or re-releases on NSO. And then you just Nintendo just sees the fandom across the world who loves the Zelda series and stuff.
Yeah, but I think people see this. I think Nintendo sees the Zelda fandom now, right? I don't know. I understand the movie is kind of like their big push, right? But like, I still feel like that they need to do something gaming related I mean, and even Nintendo did something for Mario for their his 40th, right? Of like,
Yeah.
okay, we're gonna add content to Mario Wonder. We're gonna re-release, Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. And then we're gonna put a bunch of amiibo out that you'll spend $1 billion on, and a talking flower and a alarm clock. I don't know,
all feminists. But I could just see that with the Zelda franchise, it's gonna be a big thing because I'm like, it's out of anything and everything, Miyamoto has to say something. He has to come out. God protect them till it happens. Because he is the one that everybody's going to be looking forward to. We're going to be looking forward to Miyamoto coming out and speaking about the franchise, speaking about how he grew up, and there was the idea when he was a kid and stuff, and how Anuma, he'll come out and say something like how him and the team and even Monolith Soft, just went from like the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time to what it is now, and don't forget, like, of course, the cereal and the cartoons and stuff and the quotes and everything, but I gotta give it up to the Zelda series for people to fall in love with action RPGs or action adventure games and stuff like that. It really is because of the Legend of Zelda and the impact that one game or any game in the series has had on gamers and stuff. I think that's why when you think of the first Darksiders, that's why they kept using Zelda um in a lot of in the reviews and stuff, because that's the only one that you can really compare it to in a sense. And regardless of how people see Darksiders now and everything, like I just see the impact that game, the Zelda franchise, has does, and it continues to do, because even Link's green clothing and stuff is iconic now. It's the Breath of the Wild clothes, so like you have two different styles of clothes that you could wear to represent Link that people will recognize and stuff. And I just think I think that's amazing for a game or franchise to be there like that in 40 years. Like Final Fantasy has done it and stuff. The Mario series has done it, like it's just so amazing to see stuff like that. So I think, and we'll definitely answer the question because I think we have more thoughts, but I'm just like, Zelda has just been the Legend of Zelda as a franchise has been impactful. I don't want to talk out of character. You know, it's just been such a great and amazing series, and it continues to grow, and people know what to expect from it, but also expect the unexpected, the new things that they bring into this. And Anuma and the team, and even Miyamoto, they could once again change the way how we play games and think of games and think of genres. Pikmin 3 is a good example. I know Miyamoto had this, gave advice, and I know it was a whole different team, but I'm just like, those underground sections, if people who have not Pikmin 3, Pikmin 4, I'm sorry. If you played Pikmin 4 on Switch and you did those underground sections, you would be like, Miyamoto's hands was on this, because this feels like old school Legend of Zelda design. And that's why I that year that Pikmin 4 came out, it was my game of the year, because I miss Miyamoto's design. I miss his hands on games. You can say whatever you want about Star Fox Zero, but I'm like, when Miyamoto gets his hands on games and gives his expertise and challenges those designers and see how those ideas come out and get refined, man, it's a amazing, exquisite feeling. So,
yeah.
But Corey, how about we get into Nintendo? Because we just did about 3 expansion passes.
I mean, Yeah, who cares? This show's gonna be like 10 hours long anyway.
That
So,
is true.
my kids will be up before this episode's over. Yeah.
Well, I'll let it go first. Okay, so of course I had Domino's. I had some Chipotle this week, but I actually Thursday and today, which is we're recording on Friday, I had Chili's. And the reason I had Chili's because they were the closest ones to deliver. And so I just decided to be like, you know what? Let me get I got the appetizer meal, and then I got like a salmon meal today. And man, once again, Chili's Mexican rice was bomb big. And mashed potatoes. I didn't get no Southeast rolls, but dude, the food came in and I just straight maxed it. I was just like, oh, I was really hungry. I was really lazy today. And then they had a dragon fruit lemonade with them. So good.
Wow.
And then I had some Ben and Jerry's like chocolate fudge brownie ice cream that I murdered.
Of course you
just
did.
like, I'm just like, I've been a bad boy.
Jeez. Yeah.
So,
well, I had a turkey club today for dinner at the basketball game.
That sounds so good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. It was it was turkey and bacon and mayo and these really good crunchy like salty bar fries essentially. Because we went to this we went to this place called the Corner Alley, which is this kind of bar close to the where the Cavs play,
the arena.
And so we ate there and then we walked over to the arena. But man, those fries are so good, dude. It was I haven't had French fries in so long. But those fries were like, they were like crispy and kind of had this kind of coating around them. This kind of like a southwestern coating around them, and then they were just salty and really delicious. And man, I love salty French fries, dude. Like
that. Sometimes for fries like those, I do have to have ketchup, kind of to reduce some of the salt and stuff. But like, I do love some good. Well, if it's not ketchup, it's going to be a nacho cheese. Like, I do like some good bar fries.
You know what I do like to do, and it sounds gross, and people in the chat are probably going to roll their eyes or be grossed out, but when they're like those Southwest fries like that and they're really salty, I really like to dip them in mayonnaise.
Oh, yeah.
I love dipping fries in mayonnaise. And like,
that's a Midwest thing, dude. It fully is a Midwest, because my people in high school, people were doing that, dipping their fries into mayonnaise.
Yeah, it was really good. And then at the game, I had a hot pretzel and cheese, which is like just, I love hot pretzels and cheese, dude. So much. So good.
Annie's.
So good.
If I don't get the minis at Annie's, I would get that, because I like just breaking it off and dipping it in the cheese. And
yeah, but this was like arena salted pretzel, like hot pretzel. So it was like, it was kind of stale, but in like just enough to be good. You know what I mean? And then you dip it in that nasty like plastic cheese essentially. But somehow it just works, and she's just like, oh man, this is like
the nacho cheese soaks up into the hardness to make it like a little bit soft. Sometimes.
Yeah, and it just so good. It was very good. I actually enjoyed being a human today. So
could you just like, I know I didn't do good for my diet, but I had to. I had to.
I mean, I never do this. I never like go out, and
Mhm.
do things. And so I don't know. It was fun. I had a good time.
And it's a basketball event, so you're gonna get hungry for a 2/3 hour game, depending on how long you've been there.
Yeah, I mean, I think the game was like 2.5 hours. Um, so it was good.
So,
They won too, so that was good.
oh, that's
Although I was
great.
worried. We were playing the Sacramento Kings, and they are
Mhm.
second to last place, and we were losing for a while, and it was like, oh no, we're gonna lose to this team, but we did not, and that was fun.
Oh, okay.
Oh, good times though, man. I like going to basketball games. Like I think I like watching football better in terms
Mhm.
of like just watching sports, but going to basketball games I think is the best. I love going to basketball games. Football, they just make the at-home experience so much better. But we're not here to talk about that.
Yeah.
I mean, we can, but I know people aren't here. People get mad at us on Xbox Casuals because we always end up talking about sports for like 20 minutes somewhere within the show. On
Uh-huh.
Tower Casuals or Xbox Casuals, Josh and I, because we're both big football fans.
Mhm.
And Josh's team is in the playoffs, and the Browns obviously are not.
The Browns are around, getting ready for that new season.
No, dude, they're all in like Cancun and stuff, getting ready to just relax for however long. Ah, man, the Browns are embarrassing, dude. I have to get this out. I know we're not talking about sports, and I'm sorry, everybody, but the Browns are supposed to interview a new head coach this weekend. And so we were supposed to interview the Dolphins coach who got fired. Okay,
Mhm.
Mike McDaniel for our head coaching spot. He
Wasn't that in
declined.
the news?
Yeah,
Okay. I
yeah.
know one coach was like, it was in the news. This is like, I don't know if it was like a rumor or something, but they
I
were
mean,
just
there are
like,
9 coaches in the news right now, so you
yeah,
probably
because
heard
people are
about at
getting
least one of
like,
them.
yeah, because people like a lot of coaches and stuff are getting interviewed for
Yeah,
stuff.
they're getting all of them got fired and then are now looking for new jobs. Yes, that's how the NFL works every year. It's called Black Monday. Um,
Well, shoot, some of them already got a job. I'm like, you
yeah,
just got fired and you already on
because
this
good
team.
coaches got fired, which is the confusing part. Yeah, the Browns ex-coach got hired in Atlanta, and he took his entire team, like his entire like offensive staff with him. So, uh,
Wow.
uh, anyways, just to kind of make this quick, the Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel got fired at the end of the season. Dolphins were bad, but then they went on a little run. I actually thought he was going to stay there. I thought he
Mhm.
wasn't going to get fired. Um, but then he did, and he was supposed to interview for the Browns head coaching job. And before he was supposed to interview, he said, "No, I don't want to coach the Browns, like at all." And he
Ooh.
took a demotion to go to the Los Angeles Chargers to be their offensive coordinator, not even their head coach. Um, but he is interviewing for the Bills head coaching job this weekend, but he will probably end up with the Los Angeles Chargers as their offensive coordinator. And he was supposedly the
Wow.
favorite to be the Browns head coach, according to reports. Like the Browns really wanted him to be the head coach
Mhm.
because he's young, he has a great offensive mind. Like I think he's a really good offensive coordinator, like a great offensive coordinator. And he was here once before. Like when he first started coaching, he was our wide receiver coach at one point. Um, but yeah, he's going to go to Los Angeles and be the offensive coordinator, not a head coach. Which also the other thing that really hurts I don't really care either way. Like if he's our head coach or if he would have interviewed or not, because I think there are better head coaches out there. But like I think like it's an even bigger blow that the Browns really wanted him, and that our owner, as many bad decisions as he makes, he's not afraid to add zeros to the end of the check to keep someone or hire them.
Wow.
So like he would have probably made like more than he was worth here. And the thing is with coaches is like, even if you get fired, your contract is guaranteed. So like, even if he got fired after a year or two, like say he signed like a 5-year contract, he would have got paid for 5 years regardless. There was one point where the Browns were paying 6 head coaches, by the way. When they hired Kevin Stefanski to be our head coach he was our coach for 6 years. When they hired him, they were still paying 5 other head coaches. So,
wow.
Which is hilarious. Anyways, sports. Hot pretzels and cheese are good at basketball games. Was where that conversation spun out of.
They're good, dude. They're good anywhere. If done right and made right, they're good anywhere.
Yeah, but there's something about nasty sports food that's good. So,
that's why I can't wait to taste more Boston food this year. So
yeah, if PAX would ever let me know if I'm going or not, that'd be great. I would also like to eat some food in Boston, Ed.
Yes.
PAX. So. Sorry, did that sound salty? It felt salty. Like that pretzel I ate earlier.
I was about to say that too. Well, how about we get into playing with power? Corey, go ahead. What have you been playing with power?
So I've really only still been playing Fire Emblem Path of Radiance on NSO. But let me tell you, I had to start over because I lost a character and I didn't create a suspend thing because it doesn't make it obvious who, like, if you lose someone during a battle, who survives if they get beaten or who dies during the battle, because they have certain story points, right? So like chapter like 6 or 7, right? I lost Soren during a battle, but he has important story beats, so he survives even if he quote unquote dies during battle, right? So like I was like, okay, whatever. Then I get to like chapter 11 or 12 and Boyd dies during the battle, and it was risky, and I'm like, he seems very important to the story. I bet he survives this battle. Nope. He does not survive the battle if you lose him. But he still is quite important to keep around, apparently. So I had to start over. So I've been like battling my way through these battles up through like, I think I'm on chapter 7 now. Again. My playtime, I've been skipping all the cutscenes and stuff too because I've already seen them. And so like my playtime is like 2.5 hours, even though my GameCube NSO thing says almost 10 hours on it now. And Fire Emblem's literally the only game I've played besides like 20 minutes of Wind Waker just to see what it looked like. But yeah, it's hard, man. I don't remember like Fire Emblem obviously is known to be hard and difficult, but like Three Houses and Engage specifically on the Switch were very like forgiving and very, you could even turn the permadeath stuff off and all that kind of stuff to make it like, they do a lot to make it easier for people who maybe aren't as into the hardcore elements of these games, right? So going back to the GameCube version, which is extremely hardcore, not even the hardest game in the series that was released over here, but like, holy cow, man, I am just having a hard time trying to keep people alive. It is very like item management heavy. because in Engage specifically, which was the last one I played last year, thanks NSO for letting me know that I played over 100 hours of Fire Emblem Engage last year. I had the ability to be very aggressive, right? And like very, I mean, strategic, yeah, but also like I can kind of be aggressive here and kind of get away with it if I need to, right? Dude, this is very like, it's almost so defensive. Like you're always on the defense, it feels like I'm always using potions. I'm always using my healing abilities. I'm always using the mend ability. I'm always trying to keep my mage and my healer back far enough so enemies can't like walk up to them, right? Like I'm learning how to position characters better. Like, oh, well, the characters with the javelins and the arrows, like position them at an angle towards an enemy because they can't hit you back unless they have a javelin or a bow and arrow, right? Like, oh, walk up to the bow and arrow guy with your axe guy because they can't hit you from one space away. They have to be 2 spaces away. And so like I'm learning a lot of nuances that I just kind of have let go over the years because obviously 3 houses and Engage are so forgiving and so just like I'm just going to power through this, or I'm just going to go grind some of the side stuff so I can just, kind of literally overpower everybody. There's none of that in this game so far. Like there's no like I'm just going to grind for a while, I do think I remember that happening eventually at some point, but like this opening is like, no, the next mission is the next mission. And you will go do the next mission, whether you figured out how to level up or not. You're going to like it. And like, I've been really careful this time around, actually, during the battles to make sure I kill everybody in the battle to get that experience, because like there are definitely levels where you can skip enemies, like the level where they quote unquote teach you how to escape a battle, right? Like you can go through that whole thing and fight maybe only a third of the character of the enemies. Well, I made sure to go through and fight them all so I could get the experience. And I made sure to go fight them with like the weaker characters because Titania, which is kind of like she's the strongest and she has the most armor and she has the most defense. Like I use her every time I'm in trouble, I make sure she's around so I can just kind of like, she's essentially like a bullet sponge, essentially. Is like, oh, well, I'm going to place her in front of these characters so I can heal them while she takes the damage, right? And, and she has the ability to like, oh, if she gets hit, then she'll hit them back. Like she'll counterattack literally almost every time, if not every time. I've gotten Oscar, who is he's like a javelin wielding armored horseback rider. And so like he'll throw, like I made sure to make him stronger so he can also be that. So I can use the other characters of like, okay, well, Ike he's strong, but he's not that strong. And he's not very defensive. So like, essentially like I can hit an enemy twice, but he's going to take damage. And so I need to make sure my healer is close so he can be healed, or like make sure I have extra potions on me so I can heal myself if my healer is off healing my mage or whatever, right? Because Soren's defense is also really, really low because he's meant to be a ranged character. So like their defense is low. And so like learning all the nuances of battle in Fire Emblem Path of Radiance has been it's been like, there are some things where I'm like, okay, I wish I could just hit start to speed this battle up, but also like learning the nuances of like settling down into a battle, knowing I'm going to be in this battle for 20 or 30 minutes or longer because I need to be more strategic and I need to actually think out this grid and like, oh, this map is so small. How do I get these enemies to kind of go into this alleyway so I can, kind of like the I don't know if you've seen the movie 300, where they kind of like, oh, it's 300 enemies versus 10,000, but we're going to funnel them through this kind of alleyway, so we don't have to fight all 10,000 of them at once. We fight like 2 or 3 of them at once with 2 characters, and then as you kill 2 or 3 will replace them, but you'll still be able to survive because you're not fighting 7 or 8 guys at the same time. You're fighting 2, and they're just kind of like lining up behind each other to take you on because it's a turn-based game.
Yeah.
So like learning little strategies like that is actually really fun and enhancing the experience for me. So I'm really enjoying it. I feel like I've been playing. The only thing that's frustrating is like I feel like I've been playing this game for so long and I'm not far in it because I had to restart because I don't want to lose anybody. And it's been really kind of frustrating that way, to like, oh man, I've wasted like almost all of January playing this old game and I'm not far at all. But at the same time, it's like, it's really fun to revisit this GameCube classic. It is a classic GameCube game. And if you have a Switch 2 and you missed it on GameCube, play it. It is fun. Ike is a great character. The Grail Mercenaries storyline is so cool, and it continues on in the Wii game, which I wonder if I'm starting to wonder more and more if the Wii is going to be the next kind of main console that hits this service at some point. There are 2 reasons. Obviously, like Fire Emblem is one of the reasons, but like, I have also been thinking a lot about Metroid Prime 2 and 3, and like wondering if they're going to ever, if they're not going to remaster those 2, like the obvious choice would be to put 3 on NSO as a Wii title. And so I've kind of been thinking about the Wii version a lot also, because I think Radiant Dawn I think Path of Radiance is a better game. I think Radiant Dawn has better characters, but also Radiant Dawn is a direct sequel to Path of Radiance, and you need to play them in that order.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Radiant Dawn is Micaiah's story, like it is a continuation of Ike's story also, because it deals with the fallout of the war and everything. So like, I don't know. It's great. I'm enjoying it. I love the characters. I forgot how endearing Maya was, or Mia. I never really knew how to say it. I think it's Mia, but she's fun, and like it's almost like you want to protect her, but she's actually like one of your better fighters, it turns out, because she has when she gets attacked by someone, she has the ability to attack first always, even if she's being attacked. Like she'll attack first, and that's very useful. Now she's not very, like, she can't really dodge out of the way when she does that, but like getting that extra hit in, like, could be like life or death for another character when they go to attack. So like, it's really cool to learn strategies that way. But that's kind of all I've been playing. I played a little bit of Mario Kart with my kids also, but really it's been all Fire Emblem, and hopefully I'll have it beat by the next time we record, because that's, I'm not recording anything until probably Xbox Casuals or Tower Casuals, or if we record in the middle of the week next week, I don't know. But yeah, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, great game, love it.
Yes,
like I'm thinking about it right now. Like I wish I would have come home earlier or not gone at all, so we could have recorded it, and then I could go lay in bed and play it for like, because I've actually been staying up late playing it in bed. I actually fell asleep playing it last night.
Oh no.
Like because like I recorded Xbox Casuals last night because we were talking about the developer direct, which that episode is up now. And by the time this goes live for everybody, like it'll have been out for a couple days anyway. But like, I was waiting for it to process the audio, like the video and the audio to process through StreamYard, which we got to move off StreamYard, dude. This service is it's not good at all. I want to move to Riverside, and you know, we'll figure it out later. I know Talking Shop is dumb on stream, but like I was downloading the files and it was taking forever. So I was like, I'm just going to go to bed and I'll edit it tomorrow and post it tomorrow and whatever. And I took my Switch upstairs and I'm like fighting through. I was like, I'm creating a save state right here. And so I created the suspend state, and I was like partway through a battle and I fell asleep while I was battling. And then all of a sudden, like I felt my Switch rumble on my like chest. And I was like, I thought like my kids were jumping on me for a minute. And I look up and like one of my characters had died. I was like, oh
no.
Well, good thing I created that save state. So I'm just going to turn it off and go to bed. I feel like I've been rambling about it though so much, but it was just like really, I feel like since we started the show, or at least like this iteration of the show, like all I've wanted was like an HD GameCube, right? And we started talking about it like, oh my gosh, they're actually doing it. They put Paper Mario on here. You know, they put you know, the Sunshine on here. You know, with the 3D All-Star Collection. How many GameCube games did we count? They put Metroid Prime Remaster. I'm like, they're doing it. They're making an HD GameCube, and I'm here for it. And then they go and put all these games on NSO, and like, you know, not widescreen. And yeah, the emulator is impressive, but like you can still see where like, okay, this is still like a GameCube game.
Right.
But they're doing what I wanted them to do. And these games look incredible in handheld mode, by the way. All of the GameCube games look incredible in handheld mode.
Nice.
So, but I'll stop talking for now, Ed.
Okay. So, play Power Wash Simulator 2. I think I'm at the halfway point in the sense. Right now, I'm like in a roller rink. That I have to clean, and it looks like it's going to be a very big job. It looks like it'll be like a 4-hour job for me to do. 4 plus 6 hours. 4 to 6 hours, I should say.
Jeez.
So I'm like, I got to do it in sections and stuff. But I put it on hold for right now, but I'll definitely get back to it because I've been playing Mio Memories in Orbit. This is a Metroidvania action adventure game where you control Mio, and you go and to these different rooms, and you know, you explore and everything. It's kind of in the style of Hollow Knight in a sense. Thing is, there is some difference. You do get shards and stuff, so you do get a currency. If you get to if you end up dying, you end up losing them to a pool. So but there are machines that will change your shards into like hard stone kind of shards that when you keep is like your reservoir. So if you die, you don't lose them. If you depending on what save point that you are at, if you die, you'll go to that save point and have to travel back to those bosses. The bosses, they do have an energy bar, so you can see it. I think the thing about it is that the bosses do have patterns, so you'll be able to, you know, fight them. Now, I will say this: you cannot like if whatever hit that you get, you take your hit until you get to another save point or to energy refill. Cause like once you get hit, you can't there is nothing that's gonna refill your energy. None of these enemies give you energy. You literally just have to take the hit and go on. But if you get to an energy refill to fill your energy, you'll be fine. Uh, you do lose like in it, like you are locked out of some of your energy also. There are story points that it will lock part of your energy. So if you even though you may have like six, you could take 6 or 7 hits, it could lock it down to 5, and that's it. To maybe another story point. I think there is a reason for that. But you know, you got to play the game to find out why. There are ways to enhance your abilities for it, but those cost like if anyone who played like Ender Lilies, Magnolia, those kind of games that you get like a set amount of special um special powers that can help you and everything. That if you have space to fit them in to add to your body for you to fight, you can. They do have some pros and cons with them. I'm playing it on Nintendo Switch 2, and like I said, I'm going to try to do a review for this game. I've been playing a lot of it. There is some control issues with this. You do kind of get like a little kind of grappling hook kind of thing. Problem is that if you use the directional pad, is like a 50-50 chance that you get the right direction. If you do it with the analog, you'll get 100% complete. So you kind of got to switch between if you're using a pro controller. I haven't played this on a Joy-Cons or anything just yet. And stuff. They do have some accessibility things, but I haven't tried those just yet. There is some button lag in it, for some parts. So if you do press a button and you press it at the wrong time and nothing happens, that is part of the button lag that's in it. The response to it, because as great as the game is, and it's a really great game, phenomenal soundtrack. The characters are voiced in this game. You know, there are some battles, like some mid bosses that you are fighting and you don't get no power from them. You know, you got to find secret areas that will hold the power that you need, or the ability, I should say, that you would need to progress through the game and stuff. So, I it's a really great game. I will say it's not my game of the year. It doesn't get that kind of nomination just yet until I finish it. There is a store that you could buy some things. The character male, he's or he or she, I should say, or it at this time. They're very funny, and everything, and you have to find their workers in order to buy more in the game and stuff. So you do collect heart container kind of things, energy containers, and so if you get 4 pieces, you'll add extra energy to it. So it is a really great, it is a really good game. Once again, it's kind of directionless, so you just got to be aware what area that you are in. Also, everybody, you cannot buy a map in this game. So you just got to explore and get to a save area. If you save it, once you begin again, press the minus button so that the map will reveal more of everything that you explored. If there are pieces and hidden stuff in it, you might want to mark it down and keep a remembrance, because it does not tell you where everything is. So the only kind of marked things that you will see on it is the machine to turn your currency into hard currency, your shards, save points, and then energy points, and that's it. It does not tell you, and if you add a save point, it'll tell you where you're at, like what city or place that you're at. Other than that, it don't tell you anything else. You literally have to explore. There is no dash button in this just yet that but if you hit them with, if you like use your hairpin, that's what it is. If you use your hairpin, that's kind of the push you forward and stuff. Or you press X and you gotta dodge, you could like kind of disappear and stuff. But there is no air dash in this. So good luck in if you are looking for a game that has no air dash. I was telling a friend, I was just like, I blame Mega Man X because of the like air dash and stuff to help me get around and everything. And I'm so used to having an air dash or some kind of dash in Metroidvania kind of game and stuff. At least with Samus and stuff, I don't really need an air dash in those games and stuff because Samus moves real quick, and there are ways to the fights in those games are more balanced, and some of these fights in this game are just, they're a little bit frustrating because you do have to wait for the patterns and stuff to happen for you to memorize them and be able to counterattack and attack and stuff. So but an air dash would help sometime. But yeah, so I'm working on that. Hopefully I will have my full review for the game next week for you guys to read. But right now it really is good. I do recommend it, but more for people who are in the Metroidvania kind of camp. I wouldn't recommend it to everybody just yet. I will wait to see if they balance some things out or patch some things and fix it. If you're into it. But yeah, Mio Memories in Orbit, definitely if you play this game and stuff, listen to the soundtrack. It has a great atmospheric, memoryless, but yet Streets of Rage 2 meets hip hop soundtrack in a sense. But be some of the beats and sounds, it's like it's really really good to hear and stuff. And the voice acting is phenomenal also. Very funny, but really really good. Help to narrate the story. So yeah. So that's all I've been playing. Playing with Power. Corey, he has some things to show.
I do. So obviously I've been on my Power Ranger kick.
Yes.
Collecting those. So I've completed the base Ranger set. I still have a bunch of stuff coming to the house, but I found a set of the Omega Rangers, which usually cost like third hand, obviously, but like somewhere between like $100 and $120, $130, sometimes depending on the condition of the box or whatever. Found, so somebody was selling a set of them because they only come in the 4 set. Like you have to buy all 4 of them as a set, right? They all come in the same box, and the box is like presented like, the Boom Studios comic books and whatever. And so like the box is really nice, and they're like, this box has a dent in it. There's a couple folds and scratches in it. And then they were selling it for like $40 complete. Like it was still new. The box just had a dent and a rip in it. And so like I haven't gotten it yet, so I can't tell you for sure. Right. But like, I mean, $40 for this $120, $130 set of the Omega Rangers are like.
You told me the price, and when you showed me the picture, I was just like, oh, yeah. Snag those. Me and you was on the same level because you sent me the picture. You told me the price, and I'm like, snag those right now. And you was like, I already did.
Yeah. And like the Omega Rangers story is like really cool, you know? And so like I wanted them, you know, I've been wanting them for a while. So I snagged those, essentially like for those Mighty Morphin Power Rangers fans, when the original Red, Yellow, and Black Ranger left the show, Boom Studios incorporated that, them leaving into their storyline of like, so they, you know, their characters left the show to go to an international junior peace conference or whatever, right? So they couldn't be Power Rangers anymore. So they were replaced, you know, Jason, Trini, and Zach were replaced by Aisha, Rocky, and Adam. So they become the new Red, Yellow, and Black Rangers. Well, the Omega Ranger storyline is that the peace conference they were called to was actually like an elite, like they were recruiting an elite group to kind of become the new Omega Rangers, which were like, you know, they go into space and you know, fight aliens and all these other things. So like they become the Black, Yellow, and Red Omega Rangers. And so like they kind of allow all of the Rangers to still be Rangers without, you know, contradicting storylines, or like, oh, well, Jason's the Red Ranger, so how does Rocky fit into this? Oh, well, Jason's the Red Omega Ranger now. So, you know, and then they have the Blue Ranger in there as well, who is one of the aliens that they work with. So it's really fun. But yeah, I got a set of those. And then I have now officially completed the original 6 Rangers set. So like red, blue, green, yellow, pink, black, like the original set. And then I got all of the alt Rangers. So like I have the Aisha Yellow Ranger, the Cat Pink Ranger, the Tommy White Ranger, and then Adam, the Adam Black Ranger is in the male. They didn't make a Rocky Red Ranger. Only the metallic only the metallic set is a Rocky Red Ranger. And like I don't know if I want the metallic set, really. They kind of are ugly. I mean, who am I kidding? I will probably get them anyway, but like I don't know. They're kind of ugly. So I kind of completed that set. Also, I've completed the Zeo Ranger set. So, you know, red, green, yellow, blue, pink, and gold. So I have all 6 of those Rangers. I completed the Ninja Ranger set. So all 6 of those Rangers plus the extra Pink Ranger, because Kat inherits the Pink Ranger stuff after Kimberly leaves the show. So I've completed that set. I have 2 of the 3 Turbo Rangers that were released. So I have the Turbo Red, and then I have the Blue Centurion, who's not even really a Ranger. He's just like a space cop. He looks cool though. I do have a Phantom Ranger coming, which is the 3rd one. There's also a special, like, quote unquote, invisible Phantom Ranger, but it looks stupid, and I don't really. It's just like a clear plastic version of it, and I'm like, I don't want this. This looks stupid. So I have that. I have my Chun-Li Blazing Phoenix Ranger. So that's cool because they did the whole Street Fighter crossover. And I've been looking at the other ones. Man, they look so cool. And they're cheap, like, because nobody cares anymore about the Street Fighter ones. So I've been looking at those. I really want the Dino Thunder set because that's when Tommy came back. And that's like a really important storyline for Power Rangers. But also, like, I don't really know that much about them. So I might just get the Tommy one, just to have the Tommy one. So I would have all of the Tommy ones, except for the Fighting Spirit Green Ranger. But yeah, my Power Ranger collection is growing. The only set I would need would be the Alien Rangers, which only come in a 5-pack, and they're $120 as well. So
Ooh.
I'll have to figure that out. But I also have the entire set of the Draken kind of Team Draken, essentially, which is like the big kind of story arc from the Boom Studios comics. So I have my son stole my original Draken, so I ordered another one. It's on its way. But I have the Evo 3 Draken with like the cape and the Morphin Master heart seal on his shield. I have the Ranger Slayer, the Pink Ranger Slayer. I have the Tyrannosaurus Sentry on its way, which is essentially a Red Ranger, but with like kind of knight armor and like a big staff with the Red Ranger swords on each side. So it looks really cool. Yeah, so now like I need Alpha and Zordon and like the bad guys. It's kind of it. I'm stopping after Mighty Morphin. I'm stopping after Zeo, just because there's like so many, dude. There are so many Power Rangers, and they only made like a third of them, and there's like 150 figures, and they only made like a third of the Rangers and the bad guys. You know, they didn't even complete the Turbo set. They didn't complete the Dino Fury set. There are like, I think I counted like 12 seasons where they didn't even make a single figure for that season. So like, there's a lot, man. But so I need the bad guys, and I need to finish my collection of Zords, and that's kind of it for that. Yeah, it in quotes, like, you know, like only another like $1,000 or so. It's fine. You know, not important. I'll sell body parts. Who cares? But the cool things I got, Ed. So I got my Figma Zelda figure.
Yeah.
That I pre-ordered in October of 2024. I like it a lot. These figures probably don't need to be that expensive, but whatever.
They look huge.
Huh?
They looked huge.
They're not. They're not. They're like 5 inches tall. I literally think she's like 5.5 inches tall.
I think it was who.
Well, she was sitting behind the amiibo, which makes them look tall because the amiibo are not big, right?
Not big. That's why I was just like, ooh, she's a big girl.
Yeah. So, yeah, and then I got a monolith edition of Expedition 33 in the mail. So I got this, and it came with the art book and the journal and the steel book. But then the monolith also. It's smaller than I thought, but it's also a music box. So like it plays Alicia's song. I think, or maybe it's the Paintress's song. I'm not sure, but I just got an alert today that said your package is on its way, and I was like, oh, finally. Today was, this week was the week of everything I pre-ordered like a year ago or longer. I was like, it's on its way. Congratulations. Yeah, that's what I got.
Oh wow,
I love it. I love it though, man. Like, I love this game so much. Expedition 33, so good. And the box is pretty. Like the box is pretty.
Ooh,
like I want to display the box. It has Gustav on one side, and then it has Mael on the other, and then like the monolith is on a side. And then the top of the box just says Expedition 33 on it.
33.
So, yeah. but it like wasn't sealed when I got it. I opened the box, like the cardboard box it was shipped in, and I went to pull the box out and the lid fell off. And I'm like, oh, it's not sealed. And then I pulled the styrofoam out, right? And it just has like a piece of tape on it. But yeah, it comes with like the journal, which is basically like an art book, right? Like it has a bunch of
nice
art and notes in it. And then it comes with the steelbook, which is different than the steelbook I already have with the mirror edition. So, this one has Gustav and Mael on it, and then the back has the monolith on it, where the other one has, I think the other one has Verso and Alicia on it, the mirror version. There's like 4 different, like every version that comes with a steelbook has a different steelbook, because there's one with Renoir on it too. So, and Alicia. So
I would just want one with SK on it.
Oh, there's not one with SK on it. But you know what I did order, Ed? The official SKA plush I ordered.
Nice.
So it'll be here on February 5th or something along those.
Mon ami.
Did you finish the game yet, Ed?
I am going to be returning to it. I started playing a lot of Nintendo.
That's a no.
I went from that to Power Wash Simulator. I'm going to be going back to.
You're the worst. Finish the game.
Look, I got a lot of stuff coming. The new,
look, man, this is going to be a Breath of the Wild situation where you beat it like 4 years later when it finally comes to a console that you play games on. Is it?
Hey. I'm going to work on the game, get through it. We'll talk about it. Because I reached out to Shane Kelly. Shout out to Shane. I was just like, so we're gonna have to do a special Talk the Walk because of the new Life is Strange. I gotta
finish. No such thing as Talk the Walk anymore, Ed. That show's been dead for 6 years. It's called Video Game Book Club now, and actually, it's called Gamescast and Spoilercast and Review Discussions now. Ed,
but
so get over it.
But
nope, Talk the Walk is dead.
No, it would be a special edition of Talk the Walk.
Nope. It's dead.
So that me and Shane could talk about it. Be like, let's revisit Dead Exposure first before we get into, even though they already did one.
Didn't they already do Double Exposure?
They did. But I never got to talk about it. So.
Oh, well, no one cares. No one liked that game.
I would love to revisit Double Exposure.
You can.
And I would
on your own time
do the new one. Because we're like, dude, we got like most of the Life is Strange stuff on Talk the Walk, so it'd be a good throwback.
There he goes.
Hey, anything is possible. Sometimes
is it?
Yes. So shout out to Laurent.
No, not shout out to Laurent.
So it's good to that he's doing all right. He's doing good.
Is he?
Yes. Well, everybody, it's time.
I don't know. I think he hit his head pretty hard if he's watching a Nintendo podcast. So,
everybody, it's time for Family News. Corey, take it away.
Is it time for Family News?
Yes, it is.
Okay, if you say so. Let me get the dock open and ready. I had it open and then I switched. Okay. Family News. Here we go. We have a lot to talk about.
We do.
So there has been some major leadership changes over at Nintendo. But let's start with Nintendo's new president and chief operating officer, Devin Pritchard, who has made her first public appearance as Nintendo's president, Nintendo of America's president. She made her first appearance by sharing a pre-recorded message at the New York Game Awards that focused on creativity, inclusion, and supporting future game creators. She was introduced by former NOA president Reggie Fils-Aimé. She celebrated the Playing with Purpose program and encouraged inspiring developers while preparing to lead Nintendo through the early days of the Nintendo Switch 2. She seems very fun. She seems very like, I don't know. She doesn't quite give me Reggie vibes, right? But she has like a different energy about her. Like she is more personable and more fun in a way. I don't know. I really enjoyed her video that she put out. I wasn't expecting to. I mean, I don't really know what I was expecting because I've never heard her talk or speak or anything, right? But like,
yes,
you know, I really thought her demeanor and her attention to detail and her kind of personality all kind of were a good leadership direction for Nintendo, who has kind of like, look, Doug Bowser was a great president for Nintendo.
Yes.
But like we never heard from him. Like he wasn't Reggie, right? Which is fine. Not everybody needs to be Reggie, but I feel like we're maybe leaning more back in that direction with Devin than with Doug Bowser. I don't know. She just seemed, and maybe we won't. I don't know. She just seemed more personable and more lively, we'll say. So
yeah, I enjoyed her cadence, you know, her confidence, and like just even the speech overall, you know, making it feel personal in the sense with that, and I can understand why like we probably might feel different with Doug Bowser is because like Nintendo didn't really have Doug Bowser in a lot of like the Nintendo Directs, because with Reggie, he was in those directs. So we was getting the presentations from him if we weren't getting it from Iwata, you know? And so now that the Nintendo Directs have kind of a different flow and design to them, hopefully we can hear more from her. You know, her speaking at Nintendo of America, like at the Nintendo store, or, you know, getting more directs with her being in it, introducing games, and, you know, just talking, talking about it and stuff. And we're just like, it's going to be that interaction that's going to be like very important because, you know, and of course she'll probably be speaking to bigger media depending on what Nintendo Japan allows. But you know, I hopefully it's just like seeing her in the Nintendo Directs, and you know, if you know, I'm about to say Playground, it's not Playground. Treehouse, you know, if she shows up on some of that, it presents stuff with them. Like it's gonna be about the presentation and interaction and stuff. Like if we could visually see her more and she could speak about Nintendo games and what they're up to and reassure, you know, that things are going well for Nintendo, they got surprises and stuff, I think we'll have a better feeling about her in the future and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, look, the fact that she like took out, like, she's been next in line for this. You know, I mean, she was when Reggie was president, Doug Bowser was the head of, you know, like what, finance and marketing or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then he took over as president, and she took Bowser's position previously. So like she's kind of been next in line at this point. So I have faith that she'll be a very good steward of the brand moving forward. I don't know. There she has a good vibe to her, and I'm excited to see more of her when the time is right, right? Like I imagine the next Nintendo Direct, she will introduce herself directly to the fans, right? Because like obviously, like, yeah, the Game Awards are, you know, the New York Game Awards are a big deal, but like her first Nintendo Direct appearance will be her first kind of real interaction with the community, the Nintendo community, and so I'm excited to see what she introduces, how she introduces herself. I mean, maybe we'll even see her Sunday at the Mario Galaxy Direct, right? Like, they're doing the movie Direct on Sunday. We're recording this before that. Maybe we'll do a direct recap show for the movie. Maybe not. I'm not sure yet. But I mean, whatever the next kind of real Nintendo Direct is with games will be very telling of how she's going to be perceived moving forward. And I already know, like, the the internet is going to be stupid because she's a woman, but like, which we already talked about on Xbox Casuals a little bit. I'm not talking about it here, but like, I think personally, I did when they announced this back in October, I want to say maybe September or October, that Bowser was stepping down and she was taking over. I did research on her, and I think we actually talked a lot about it on a previous episode at some point, but like, she does a lot of like interesting charity work too, like I just mentioned, the game, the playing for purpose thing she's involved in, and she's involved in a lot of like initiatives for women and game design and programming and stuff. And I just think a different perspective than another dude, essentially. Like, not, don't get me wrong, like Reggie, great president, Bowser, great president. I think a different perspective for this era of Nintendo specifically is exactly what the company needs, considering how kind of conservative the Japanese side of Nintendo seems to be at the moment, right? Like, this is kind of the first time in a long time that Nintendo's gone from like essentially making an iteration of a console instead of something new and wacky and weird, right? Like,
yes,
I mean, and that's very conservative of Nintendo, right? It is not Iwata's Nintendo. It is financially conservative Nintendo with Furukawa at the head, and that she seems to be the other side of the coin that will be the other side to that. So yeah, I'll stop rambling now. I know I'm kind of talking in circles now, but I think she's good for the company. I'm excited to see what she does. She seems very warm and inviting and fun, and has a different perspective on things. And
I think she's gonna pick. I think people gonna see her, like, if she gets a lot of games on Switch 2.
That's not her. That's not her job, though.
No, it's not right. But I'm just saying that if she just realized, oh, they're getting some day games, like our, won't say competition, but the other sisters are getting it. We need to jump in and stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, that's why they hired Gio Corsi, and that's why we hope they hire Major Nelson.
Right. Because I think she has a plan and a strategy. I mean, along with Nintendo Japan, of following it and how to carry that out, because she's worked under Reggie, so we could see good things come from it, because everybody's gonna be like, okay, she's the next president and stuff, but like, hey, what if she makes Star Mother 3 happen on Switch?
Yeah, the three people who are excited for that will be thrilled.
But I'm saying, but like, if she get, but my thing would be like, if she got stuff that happen, so people won't use the sexist kind of stuff. I think, yeah, I'm gonna leave it at there, because I just think she has. I believe that she's gonna continue the legacy, and I think her team and stuff is really gonna make it's going to keep that track record of like Nintendo success ongoing here in America.
Yep. I'm excited to see what she does. I think Nintendo is in a good spot, obviously, and yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Because I just hope people don't make the Sarah Bond connections and stuff. Because regardless of what people think of Sarah Bonds, I like Sarah Bonds from Microsoft.
Yeah, I think Sarah Bond is. I think. Well, I think she would have been great for the original plan that they had, but that's a different conversation for a different day.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's move on to speaking of Nintendo presidents. Not that this is a huge story, but oh wait, no, I lied. This one is kind of bigger. I thought we were moving on to the Doug Bowser story, but we are not. We are moving on to Kensuke Tanabe has confirmed that he is retiring after the release of Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Veteran producer Kensuke Tanabe has seemingly confirmed his retirement, with Metroid Prime 4 Beyond marking his final project at Nintendo. In an interview with Nintendo Dream, Tanabe revealed that the game would conclude his vision for the Silex storyline, while his protege, Raiza Tabata, is set to succeed him for any future Metroid Prime titles. Tanabe leaves behind a decades-long legacy, having worked on landmark series including Metroid Prime, Luigi's Mansion, WarioWare, and more, shaping some of Nintendo's most beloved franchises over the career spanning nearly 40 years. It's quite the career, man. Luigi's Mansion, WarioWare.
Yeah.
I mean, those are also two franchises people love. I love Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah, and those games do sell. So,
yeah.
I mean,
congratulations on a long, successful career. I mean, 40 years.
1986.
Yeah.
Yeah. Congrats to him. I think it's well deserved. I'm like, and I think he like finally gets to relax, go ahead and live his life, get out the games industry. And just, yeah. And if he ever miss it, I think he could always go to any company and get back into it if he wants to. But shoot, from 86 to 26, yeah, that's a long career, dude.
Yeah. So congratulations to him on a successful career. Enjoy retirement. That's what we all slowly hope to work towards someday, maybe. We all don't get blown up in World War III or whatever is happening in the world today.
Amen to that.
I don't know. I stopped looking. I don't want to know what's going to happen. I stopped looking at the news. Oh, sad face. Anyways, our last kind of story here for Nintendo leadership. Former Nintendo president and COO of Nintendo of America, Doug Bowser, has joined Hasbro's board of directors, of all places, bringing his leadership experience to the toy and gaming giant. Hasbro, which owns major brands such as Transformers, G.I. Joe, Magic the Gathering, Dungeons and Dragons, and more. Not Power Rangers anymore, because you gave it to Playmates, making a terrible line of toys, but that's another conversation for a different day.
But I thought that was Bandai Namco.
Bandai made the original set of toys. Then Hasbro took over with the Legacy Collection, which was the 2010 to 2013-14 line of toys that ran from Mighty Morphin through Zeo. They did a Legacy Collection for Mighty Morphin and Zeo. And then they did the Lightning Collection, which is the line that I'm collecting. which ran from 2016 or 2017. Whenever Boom Studios started their Mighty Morphin Power Rangers comic, which I think was 2016, through 2023, which was the 30th anniversary of Power Rangers. And now Playmates is doing the Reignition line, which people
okay.
like. I don't know. The Reignition line. My son likes them, and they're cheap, right? They're $10 a piece. So, I mean, the automorphing ones, the flip head ones, are $10 a piece. So, I mean, you can get them the whole set for $50. It's not breaking the bank, really. But they're really terrible, man. Like, I hate the way they look. I hate the way they feel. Their helmets really bother me. Like, the helmets aren't painted correctly. It just really bothers me, man. And like the weapons don't have any detail on them. Like he has the blackheads, the Black Ranger flip head. Jeez.
Yeah.
Ranger. And like the helmet doesn't have, the only thing painted on it is the mouth and the tusks of the mastodon. Like there's no like any other detail on it. And then the axe, his power axe, is just a black mold of the axe. It's not even like, you know, like the tip of it is silver, like in the show, and on every single other toy. And this was a problem I had with the Flip Rangers back when I was little too, but that's a different discussion. Like the tip of it is silver, and then it has yellow detailing across the axe, right? Like that's like yellow detailing across a black axe, and then the axe blade is silver. But the toy, it's just all black. Like there's no detailing on it at all. It's just like, oh, this is the shape of the axe, so here you go.
Wow.
But then like all the other toys, like the weapons are silver, except for the Green Ranger, whose Dragon Dagger is also all black. It's like, I don't know what they're trying to do, man, but they just like, I understand like Power Rangers isn't popular, and like you want to make toys for people who are watching the Reignition AI generated cuts of the original show, right? But like it, like, put a little bit more work into this. Like at least get the helmets right.
I was just shocked that Playmates got it. But yeah, Doug Buzzer at Hasbro. That's
yeah.
It's gonna be interesting to see what happens with them.
Yeah. But I mean, when Reggie retired, right, he jumped on a couple boards, right? Like he was on the GameStop board for a while.
Boards.
Yeah, he was on the GameStop board for a while. He was, you know, he did a couple other things. Then he wrote a book, and now he's just Reggie.
Pretty much.
But yeah, let's talk about Switch 2 real quick, Ed.
Yes.
Specifically the console and its sales. Nintendo Switch 2 remains the fastest selling console with 4.4 million units sold in the US, which is roughly 35% ahead of the PlayStation 4's pacing at this point, which was the previous fastest selling console in the US, was the PS4 through 6 months, I guess, 7 months through through December, first 7 months. It has sold 4.4 million units in the US after 7 months, making it the fastest selling home console in US history. According to Circana's Matt Piscatella, he posted this stuff over on Blue Sky. You can look it up over there. Its install base is nearly double that of the original Switch over the same time period, and roughly 35% ahead of the PS4's launch pace, despite the slight slowdown of console sales over the Christmas season. But hey, 4.4 million in the US alone is not too shabby.
It's not.
Yeah, I'm interested to see when Nintendo releases their kind of quarterly numbers, what it's at. which should be soonish. Usually they release it soon, but they haven't released it yet. So I'm wondering.
Yeah, it's pretty much the market change and the rim stuff, and like there's so much going on, so it's just like a lot of the video game companies don't know how the market is going to be for a bit.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I can understand why video game consoles will slow down because the market, we just don't know what it's going to be for the future.
Yeah. But hey, Switch 2, I think it's still, even if they do a price hike, it's still going to be the cheapest console on the market. I think, until, I don't know, Xbox seems to be wanting to raise the price again. I've been seeing, so we'll see. Also, the RAM stuff is like really scaring a lot of people. Which I didn't put this in the news, but there was a rumor floating around. I don't know if you saw this, Ed, where they might actually release a Switch 2, either a light Switch 2 Lite or a Switch 2 without the dock, just to keep prices low. I saw that floating around because the whatever the code name of the Switch Lite was, there's in the coding of the Switch 2, that code name, like I forget what it was called, but that whatever that code name was, 2 is floating around in the coding. So like banana 2 instead of banana, right? Like that wasn't it, but I just don't remember what it was. But I couldn't find a source that was concrete enough to talk about it, but I didn't know if you saw that floating around or not.
No, I have not. I think it was just something that we probably would expect something Nintendo to do, but it's just but you kind of think about, well, you're supposed to have the mouse pad kind of stuff, so how would that work with?
Yeah, but it's not required, right?
Right.
The only thing I would worry about eventually would be like if they release that patented second screen for like DS or 3DS.
Yeah.
Unless but like how you solve that, right, is just like, oh well, instead of a Switch Lite, we're just going to release the console without a dock, right?
They could. I mean, they could literally do that because I'm like, that's what the Steam Deck and Rock Ally are like. A lot of that stuff. It's just like they don't have decks unless you buy them. You could literally just, in reality, you could literally just put it on the stand and have the charging part go at the top.
Yeah, and I almost wonder if you could sell this for $299 without the dock. I mean, I know the dock costs $130, right? But like,
I'm expecting $349.
I mean, I would expect $100 off, right? But like, I don't know. I wonder if you could push it just a little bit.
I mean,
it also depends on software sales, right? Like, obviously, they're going to make a lot of this up on the back end with software sales.
Well, and the thing about it is, if they can match it at the price like Japan's Switch, like the Japan only Switch 2, like how that one is cheaper is out of it, because I mean it still does everything, but it only plays Japanese games, so it's only region locked to Japanese. I think with them doing, not saying making it only, not saying that to make it region lock or anything, but like without having a dock price wise. I mean, if they could match it price wise to that, I think people would get it and be like, if you actually want to buy the dock, you could buy it separately from Nintendo on the website.
I mean, it still would be $120, right? I mean,
but
I don't know, but yeah, I just we'll see. Switch 2 is still selling good though, so
yeah,
I just don't think people really care at the moment. Like, this might be a bigger problem down the road, but like initially, as people kind of
Is it with AMD? No, it's with Nvidia.
It's Nvidia, yeah. So, all right, Ed. Let's move on here. A couple games got major kind of trailers, essentially. So we got a release date and new features for Super Mario Brothers Wonder for Switch 2, the Switch 2 edition. So, this name is horrible, and the box art is even worse. Nintendo has revealed a new trailer for Super Mario Brothers Wonder, Nintendo Switch 2 edition, plus Meetup in Bella Bell Park. That's the full title of the game, by the way.
Yeah.
Confirming a March 26th release date. It's getting a physical edition, just like the Zelda games did. The update introduces the Game Room Plaza with 6 multiplayer mini games for up to 12 players, Camp Central for Toad Brigade training challenges, and a quest to recover Bella Bell flowers stolen from the Koopalings. Rosalina joins as a playable character with co-op Luna to control. Luna can be controlled with a mouse, which is cool. Luna can collect coins and kill enemies without taking damage. One of the other cool things, too, is that you can put the assist mode on, which, obviously the big thing for my son is like he falls in the pits a lot and he gets frustrated when he dies. But the assist mode gives you like the propeller flowers. They lift you out of the hole and you can kind of continue from there. And the 3 new Wonder Amiibo have been announced, including Captain Toad with a talking flower. That one looks cool, man.
Yes.
A Poplin with Prince Florian, and then Elephant Mario in the Warp Pipe will launch alongside the game with even more ways to enjoy Mario's latest platformer. I don't know. I think the features they're adding are cool. I will upgrade. I'll definitely upgrade.
I am too. I think he gets a new power up too with Mario.
Yeah, there's something in there about power ups. I didn't
get a full detail of it.
Yeah, I think the 2 bigger things for me though are Rosalina. My daughter loves Rosalina. I like playing as Rosalina in Mario 3D World, and Mario Kart. But also, I think for my kids specifically, is the flower, the assist mode, is going to be huge for helping them get through.
Yes.
So, and the Amiibo, right? I think the Amiibo look cool. They're $24.99 a piece, so cheaper than the previous releases. I wonder if that's because Nintendo saw the complaints and they were like, "Oh, we should probably scale these back a little bit." Either way, I already pre-ordered along with the Galaxy one. Also, more information on Mario Wonder's Talking Flower accessory, also launching in March. The real Talking Flower accessory will release on March 12th. The flower randomly speaks twice an hour, responds to button presses, and changes lines depending on the time of day, though it promises to stay silent at night. They made a big point to say that it will not talk at night. It was like, I couldn't, like, it wasn't a long time, but still, the amount of time they spent on ensuring that it would not talk at night was like,
yeah,
okay, I get it. It's not going to talk at night. Thanks. Very Nintendo-esque of them. Let's see here. While its charm is undeniable, the brief long press to quiet for a while warning suggests it might get a bit annoying, making it a quirky addition for fans of the game. I still kind of want one. I still want an Alarmo. I haven't gotten an Alarmo yet, but it's also only $34.99.
And I'm assuming you could cut it on and cut it off.
Oh, I'm sure you can probably take the batteries out. It won't talk at all. But I think it's just a cool little novelty item. Like I could put it back there on my shelf or something. So, yeah, I kind of want one. I don't know if you'll get one or not, but I will. Excuse me. I'm sorry. It's 2:00 in the morning. I'm tired. I'm sorry. Nintendo also revealed a new set of 3 My Mario Fisher Price playsets. So ahead of the Western launch of the My Mario toy line, Fisher Price has revealed 3 new Little People sets, playsets for young kids. The lineup includes a 6-piece figure set with familiar characters like Mario, Luigi, Peach, Yoshi, and Bowser, plus 2 playsets: Mario's Adventure playset with interactive sounds and activities, and Bowser's Airship playset, designed for push along play. Listings are already appearing on Amazon and Target, with US availability expected in late January or early February.
Yeah, Target about to be packed.
Yeah, I mean, like, man, if my son was like a year younger, like, this would be so perfect for him. But I feel like that my kids are just old enough to be out of this.
Mm-hmm.
But they do look cool.
Yeah, it's mostly for like preschool kids. So for little kids, like for like 1 to 3 and stuff. And Little People is popular, but I think this would make it even a little bit more popular, so it'll be good sales for. And it was smart for Nintendo to team up with Fisher Price to do this.
Yeah, so good for them. I think we're in for a really kind of exciting kind of time for newer Nintendo players to get in and try to figure things out. So,
because Toys R Us would have been like having the exclusive Fisher Price to the People versions.
Yeah. Yep. So let's move on to another game that is getting an update. I think this will make it infinitely better, Ed. Hold on, let me get back to the dock here. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD adds Dixie Kong and free Switch 2 enhancements. So one of my biggest complaints before I read this kind of summary was, man, Donkey Kong Country HD should have really come out before Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, because Dixie Kong makes a lot of these things much more enjoyable because of her like floatiness and the way she kind of, has that extra airtime when you jump with her, and obviously she can carry Donkey Kong and all that. But Ed, they're doing it. Nintendo's released a free 1.1.0 update for Donkey Kong Country Returns HD on Switch and Switch 2, adding Dixie Kong as a playable character in single player and local co-op, along with a new turbo attack mode. Switch 2 players also benefit from enhanced resolution, faster load times, game share support, and overall graphical improvements, making the classic platformer even more enjoyable on Nintendo's latest piece of hardware.
Yes.
Ed, I'm going to revisit Donkey Kong Country Returns HD at some point later this year. Maybe. It's on the list. I wasn't planning on playing Fire Emblem this long. But Ed, they're doing it. They're doing what needed them to do a year ago.
Which stuff has probably been in the works, and the stuff it takes a lot of time because they got to build all of this from the ground up, and this is on like new hardware. So
yeah, I mean, I wonder if they're like, obviously we're getting Mario Tennis and Yoshi and stuff like that, and Fire Emblem soon-ish, right? But like, I wonder if some of the games that they were planning on releasing are just taking longer than they expected, right? And so they are trying to get ahead of like, oh, we don't want any downtime between releases, so what can we do to enhance the other games? What can we do to, like, I mean, I think the Mario Wonder stuff was like, we knew that was going to come eventually, like a Switch 2 version of it, but like, Animal Crossing, kind of promoting Final Fantasy VII as their January release, kind of still promoting Madden during the Super Bowl or the playoffs and everything, right? Like getting a lot of these games out there and updating them and promoting them and giving them upgrades, whether they're paid or free. And this is what I was talking about at the top of the show, right? Of like Nintendo understands what they need to do, and they always seem to understand what they need to do before it gets to the point where it's too late, right?
Right. Because you want to get people moved over to the new console, which means more sales for Nintendo.
Yeah, and so this is great. I'm excited. And like we'll talk about later, like Donkey Kong Bonanza is getting free update if you own the DLC. Some of these other games are getting updates, so we'll definitely get there. But man, the fact that they're adding Dixie Kong alone makes this game infinitely more exciting for me to go back and revisit. I just think her moveset is so much more dynamic and makes the game that much more enjoyable because of the movement specifically. So excited.
Yes.
Oh, all right, Ed. Can't be a video game podcast without a downer story. So let's do that real quick. I don't really have much to say about it other than, didn't see this coming. But Ubisoft has canceled 6 games amid its major restructure and shifts its focus to generative AI and open world titles. Ubisoft has announced its major organizational restructure, closing several studios, including Halifax, Abu Dhabi, Red Links, and Massive, and canceling 6 games. So some of these studios were closed. Some of them are going through restructure. I want to make that clear. Massive did not close. Red Links did not close. They are experiencing layoffs, though. And canceling 6 games, including, shockingly, the Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake and 3 new IP. The company will now focus on open world and live service games supported by player-facing generative AI, while 7 other projects receive extra development time, including the long-rumored Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake. And I was talking with Joey Ferris today, friend of show and hilarious Nintendo YouTuber. Go check out Ferris Wheel Pro on YouTube. He's hilarious. Love Joey. We need to get him on the show sooner than later. I love Joey, man. He's so funny. He's so great. But apparently one of the games being quote unquote remade is Rayman Legends. So it's like, why?
It already looks beautiful.
It already got a definitive edition. Like, it's done. You know what you need to do, Ed, is, I don't know, put Origins out on modern platforms, or maybe Origins and Legends in a bundle pack with maybe a new set of levels or something.
Yes.
Like maybe 20 or 25 new levels.
Plus the Rayman amiibo that was shown but never reused or released.
Yeah. So do that.
So anyways. I think I
also the division definitive edition is also one of these projects.
Oh wow.
Which I don't know I don't know if it's the first game, the second game, both of them in one bundle. Are they just getting Xbox Series and PS5 ports because they never got them? Right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I've been thinking a lot about the Division though recently. I really like the first one a lot.
I'm assuming Beyond Good and Evil is canceled.
Nope. it survived. Confirmed to survive. So,
because I'm assuming some of the other games it's just ones that's just never been announced. I'm assuming
that, I mean, I really don't know, but I know Beyond Good and Evil survived. So,
we'll never see that game.
I don't even care about that game. I don't even care, dude. Like, I really think the first one is like extremely overrated, but I couldn't care less about this one. So, this second one / prequel, because it's a prequel.
Yes.
And, gosh, so I hate when prequels are called 2. It bothers me so much, Ed. Like, why are you calling this sequel, or why are you calling this prequel the second game? Why? Just why? You know, like, why are you doing this?
Because it's been a 2000 thing that happened so many times. The sequel will be like the prequel to the series and be like, this is the most dumbest thing. Why are you guys doing this?
I hate it.
And then you get the third game that's supposed to be that's the sequel, and then the third game don't be all that good.
I hate it so much.
And the stuff they put in the second game, which is the prequel, is enhancements that you don't get in the first game, but you'll get them in the third game.
Or
so
like,
it's just like
the one that bothers me the most, which I know people are just going to roll their eyes at me or whatever, but like, the one that truly bothers me the most is Red Dead Redemption 2.
Mm-hmm.
Because not only is it a prequel to Red Dead Redemption, but it's also the third game in the series.
Yeah, exactly.
I think a lot of people just forget that Red Dead Revolver doesn't exists.
And it's not the prequel to that game.
I know. It's just like, what are you doing, guys? Come on. Like, it's just, and like, I mean, from a marketing perspective, I understand what they're doing, but it still bothers me. So,
Rockstar, you messed up your own game.
Whatever, man.
Series.
I mean, I don't know if 40 million units says they messed up, but it just bothers me. Oh man, Ed. All right, let's Ubisoft, man, get it together. What are you doing? You know, like, I want to support Ubisoft, man. I do. I really like their games. I like their IP. I'm excited for this Black Flag remake whenever that decides to happen, but like, what are you doing? You know, like, why can't you just
they're trying to capture that magic from the early 2000s after Assassin's Creed 2. So
just bothers me, man. Like, just figure it out.
They're trying to avoid the EA stuff.
Speaking of hot messes, let's talk about Xbox. Their developer direct happened. So we're not going to talk about the whole thing, but we are going to talk about Fable a little bit because it is under consideration for Switch 2. Which, looking at it running on an Xbox Series console, I don't know how it's going to run on Switch 2 because it was definitely running sub 30 on a Series X. But that's this old build. You know, whatever this build was is at least a year away from the final product.
Yeah,
still needs polished. They've been working on it for a while. It's Playground. I trust them, but Switch 2, man. Oh, I guess this thing has to run on a Series S. I do kind of forget that console exists. It does have to run on Series S, so I guess Switch 2 isn't out of the question at all. PlayerUnknown's upcoming Fable reboot, launching this autumn on PC, Xbox Series X and S, and yes, PlayStation 5, is reportedly being considered for Switch 2 release also, according to Windows Central's Jez Corden. While nothing is confirmed, the potential port signals Microsoft's growing interest in bringing its major titles to multiple consoles following past releases like Pentiment and Grounded on Nintendo systems. I would love to see Fable on Switch 2. I think it would scratch that Zelda itch that people are wanting, right? But like, I don't know, man.
The chicken stuff was just overdone so much.
Dude, Chicken Chaser, man. That's such a classic. It's such a classic Fable thing. It was funny.
It's funny, but it was just so overdone and overused, and
because you get experience points for it.
I just
you don't want the chicken suit armor.
I'm not saying I don't want it, but I'm just like, it was just overused so much.
It was fun
in the showcase.
It was fun. So, are you excited for Fable,
Ed? No.
Why?
I was just looking at it, and I was just like, I don't know if this game is too dark lighting wise, or if it's my computer. It just, I don't know. It's just like I was expecting some zany stuff happening, and it's just.
But that's what Fable is.
I know, but
it's just weird.
It just didn't look zany enough for me. It just didn't. It felt like it didn't bring anything new and stuff. And I will say this because, and this is not a knock against Playground games and stuff. I think I was looking more forward to Forza Horizon 6 than I am looking to this Fable reboot or to Fable.
Yeah,
you know.
Well, this is, like, Forza is what they're good at, right? I mean,
right.
In Japan, oh my gosh, dude, that not to cut you off, sorry, but like, man, Forza 6 in Japan looks incredible.
Drop dead gorgeous. And that's why I'm just like, I'm looking at, I look at this and then I look at Fable and I'm just like, like nothing. I think it looked so dull and nothing popped, and it's just like when Xbox does color, they do color very well. When they make stuff look bland and bleak, I'm like, oh, it's just not so. It's not good.
It's almost like the Gears of War effect, right? Where like, remember like that the first two games were very dark and brown and very various shades of brown.
Earth tones,
just like and then when Gears 3 came out, it was like very colorful and bright because it took place, I don't know, outside with vegetation and trees and grass and water. That's kind of very Xbox at this point, I feel like. Like at least their first party stuff. And I think that Fable, I think once people get into Fable, they will see that it's very colorful and very bright and fun. My thing is, and this is a very light thing for me, but it looked very Witcher-esque.
Yeah.
Like in terms of aesthetic, at least. And again, it's high fantasy. Like everything looks like The Witcher and Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones. It all blends together, right? Like in my mind, at least, it all just looks the same, but one's bloodier than the other and one's funnier than the other. Like, I mean, that's like the only difference in my head.
Can I? Okay, so I'm probably gonna get gruffed about this, but I think Beast of Reincarnation looks better than Fable, like 500%. Like I don't know. I mean, I would pick it up so I could play it and judge for myself. But I'm like, Beast of Reincarnation looks so much better, and Fable just looks, I don't know, Fable just looked dull and bland to me.
See, I felt the same. I felt the complete other way. I felt like Fable looked fun and like Fable like I remembered it, and like, but like modern. But I feel like 1,000 games have come out that look just like
Beast of Reincarnation.
Beast of Reincarnation. Yeah, like it looks like Rise of the Ronin, looks like Wu-Tang Fallen Feathers, looks like whatever that one that just Wolong Fallen Dynasty, looks like Sekiro, looks like, you know, all these kind of like Asian mystical sword fighting games that we've gotten, right? And like, to me, I'm like, oh, well, she has a big bear wolf thing, I guess. But, you know, what's different about this? You know, like to me, it's the exact opposite. But
they sure enough was saying Pokemon a lot. I was just like, well, it is Game Freak. I mean, they can't say that. So,
and it's their game. So, but I don't know. I mean, if Fable comes to Switch 2, great. If not, I have an Xbox and a PlayStation. So
because South of Midnight, I'm excited for it to come to Switch 2 because I have it on Xbox and I can't wait to get it on Switch because that is a different art style.
Yeah, so I mean that game is definitely, it's not an open world game and it's not artistically as intensive as Fable's going to be, right? Like it's just
right.
Just not.
But I like the style of South of Midnight and how everything is used in that. It just looked like looking at Fable, I'm like, so I'm in a town that almost looks like the woods. I'm like, Avowed looks so much better than this. And if they did something in the way of Avowed with color and stuff, I would be so satisfied. It just looks super dull and plain. You know, and I'm just like, this, I'm like, come on, Playground. Y'all could have did more to this. And so, and then I'm just like, I'm like, what is the story? I mean, what happened to it? It looks different than what all the trailers beforehand came. And those trailers were like super funny, super interesting. Then seeing the game, just like, this doesn't match the feel of these trailers. You know, you could only kick the chicken so many times and stuff.
No, like, at least one more time, Ed. You got to kick it all the time.
Like, I want to see you kick the chicken at somebody. I just want to see you kick the chicken like into somebody's window, and then they come out and you fight them, or like
it's funny.
You be able to do some stuff. I mean, they just kept kicking the chicken. I'm just like, okay,
joke it's funny.
Oh.
To me, that's funny. I'm like excited to do that. Chicken chaser, you chase chickens.
I mean, it's already, I already know that it's gonna be like cheap and stuff.
I know, it's just, it makes me laugh. I think Fable's gonna be fun, and I mean, look, I think the game we were just talking about, the other one,
Reincarnation.
Yeah, I think that's going to be fun too, right? So, silly.
Double Fine's game looks fun. I think Double Fine's Kiln is going to come to Switch too. I can see that coming.
Yeah, that game needs to be on as many platforms as possible, in my opinion. I'm worried about Double Fine a lot, actually.
Yeah, but I need Double Fine to put Psychonauts 1 and 2 on Switch too.
Yeah, I know. I need Psychonauts HD, honestly. Like, that would be perfect if they would do that.
Microsoft really just dropped. I mean, this direct was good, but I'm like, y'all dropped the ball by not bringing some of the stuff to Switch 2.
Yeah, I don't know if they dropped the ball necessarily. I do think that they definitely could have announced more things for Switch, which I'm actually quite surprised they did not.
Because I'm just like, there's money that's right there. And I understand that you'll get your money from Steam and from PlayStation 5. But I'm just like, Microsoft, yeah, I'm like, there's money to be made on Switch.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't believe they haven't put more things on Switch yet.
Right. Even if it comes out, because that's what I feel like this developer direct was definitely for, you know, the Xbox brand and for the PlayStation brand and PC brand. So their main focus right now are those platforms, and then at a later date, it's a possibility under consideration they'll bring the Switch 2 and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I'm just like, look, if y'all must bring this out, and let's just say if Nintendo brings out some game too, I'm like, you guys gonna end up getting destroyed by that Nintendo game compared to these. And I'm not saying because of Game Pass or anything like that, but I'm like, you know, you guys could be making some extra money that complements along with Nintendo's games. I just say,
Yeah. Well, Ed, we'll see. Fable coming this fall to other platforms, so we'll make sure to talk about it at some point in the future,
yeah.
maybe. Another game that is reportedly getting remade, Ed. Let me tell you, it's shocking. Another Resident Evil game. Resident Evil Code Veronica remake is reportedly coming soon.
That's the one that really needs to be redone.
I know. That's the one, man.
Oh, it's so terrible on Dreamcast.
A new report claims Capcom will announce a remake of Resident Evil Code Veronica later this year, following the release of Resident Evil Requiem in February. The information comes from a reliable leaker, Dusk Golem, who says this is the next remake planned and not Resident Evil 5. Code Veronica has long been rumored to get a remake, and if true, it would continue Capcom's ongoing revival of the classic Resident Evil games. I don't think 5 and 6 need remade. I feel like they are modern enough that they feel like what Resident Evil would become later, right? Like the 2 remake, 3 remake. Those are obviously like, we need these to feel more like modern shooters, kind of like 5 and 6, but still have that horror element.
5 and 6 are arcade games, if you think about it. Because
I feel like they were just kind of like going for that. Gears was so popular that they're like, oh, we need to capitalize on this. You know, 5 and 6 feel a lot like Gears to me.
But it's just like multiplayer action. Arcade action, that's what they feel to me with 5 and 6. Mm-hmm. So I agree with you. I don't think they need it. I think Code Veronica needs it because you had the tank controls. You didn't even have a chance to survive in the first part of the game because they didn't give you barely any ammunition for your gun and stuff or ways to get out. Like you was getting thrown with so many zombies. Like you in the first 30 or 45 minutes, you'd be lucky to even get somewhere because the camera angles was terrible, and those camera angles changed the way that you move.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's not the Dreamcast fault or anything. It's just like that was the way that game was designed. So, like Code Veronica, that game needs like a remake because a lot of that needs to be fixed. The whole game needs to be fixed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like there are places you can get stuck in that game, and like there are game breaking things where you actually have to like literally start over, and yeah, I just I think Code Veronica is the next logical step, in my opinion. I know 0 was kind of mentioned at one point of being remade. 1 also, right? Like I think a full on remake of 1, like a really good remake of 1 in the style of 2 and 3 would be like, that would be like so interesting and incredible in my opinion, and like having the entire mansion be like searchable without load times and just kind of have it be this dense open world, but only within the premises of the mansion, right? Like that would be so cool. And zombies just wandering around everywhere. Like, I don't know, man. Like, one, I think is scary in a lot of ways, but also it's very predictable, which is why I can get through it. And like it's why, aside from when I played 4, when the remake came out, and 5, right? Like 1 is the only one I've actually made it all the way through because it's very predictable. But yeah, that being over, like, oh man, having that remake of 1 would be so cool. I mean, I think the claustrophobic nature of the train too, though, would be interesting. Like,
for Zero.
Yeah, and like swapping characters would be weird and crazy in a modern game like that, right? And like,
right.
Oh well, this character is carrying these things, so I need to solve this puzzle with this character, but also like I got to make sure the other character doesn't get attacked while I'm doing this. Very strange game, very strange. But Code Veronica needs a remake.
Yeah,
man, we've gone off on some tangents tonight, Ed. All right, let's we have 2 more news stories here, Ed. Let's get through these and then we'll go to Pack Watch and questions. We do have an active chat, so if you're in chat and you have a question, just leave it in chat. We'll get to it once we get to questions. Reggie Fils-Aimé, former president of Nintendo of America, has shared a story from his first week at Nintendo in 2003, when retailers were frustrated by shortages of Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire during the holiday rush. He described it as an early challenge in his career and vowed to never let it happen again, highlighting the lesson he learned about managing the immense demand for one of Nintendo's most popular franchises. Not really news, but this was just part of his kind of keynote speech at the New York Game Awards, and I thought it was interesting that, like, man, 1 week and you're dealing with a Pokemon shortage, that's insane. Like, the fact that like it's Ruby and Sapphire, which is multiple generations in, and you still don't have enough games to meet demand of, I don't know, maybe one of the most popular franchises ever made. Insane. So I don't know. I just thought it was interesting to bring up.
I kind of feel like the pre-order game wasn't there like it was, like it is now. You know, how people really put into their pre-orders. So like getting
Toys R Us didn't print enough slips.
You know, getting that. I mean, but it was also targeting Best Buy.
I know.
You know, because
I like it was funny to mention.
You know, and I think it was because that was DS, right? I believe.
I think so.
Yeah, and I think DS actually took a while by the time those games came out to even get popular.
Well, they were still making the Game Boy Advance ones, right? Because like the DS and the DS Lite had the Game Boy Advance slot. Plus, I mean, Pokemon has always been a generation behind. Always there. That first release when the new console was out, like they've always been. You know, when Game Boy Color came out, Gold and Silver were Game Boy games. They had color palettes in them, but they weren't Game Boy Color games. Right. You know, and then even when Game Boy Advance came out, the next wave were still Game Boy Color games. You know, and then I think the first ones on Game Boy Advance were the remakes of Red and Blue / Green, right? Like that. Those were the first GBA ones, and then I don't know what that was, but my headphone just shocked my ear.
Ooh,
that didn't feel very good. But yeah, I don't know. Pokemon's always been a generation behind, and even after the Switch came out, I mean, we still got Sun and Moon and then Ultra Sun and Moon. So they were still on the 3DS. And then the first iterations we got on the Switch were the Let's Go games. So I don't know. Pokemon Go was also still big in 2017, so 2018. Man, could you imagine if they put Let's Go out now? How
Oh, good googly moogly.
yikes! I really liked Let's Go though. It was a fun nostalgia trip of Red and Blue for me.
I think it would still sell. I mean, look at Pokemon ZA. That still sold a lot.
Yeah. All right, let's get to this last story and then we'll move on to the other stuff.
Okay.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and the third entry will offer the same gameplay as Switch 2, claims an interview from director Naoki Hamaguchi. Square Enix has confirmed that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and the untitled third entry in the remake series are in development for Nintendo Switch 2, promising that the gameplay experience will be exactly the same as the other platforms. Game director Naoki Hamaguchi emphasized that no differences will be made between the versions to avoid confusing players, ensuring that the Switch 2 owners will enjoy parity in mechanics, combat, and overall gameplay despite potential visual differences. Obviously, the visual differences come from the system's power, and probably frame rate will be dipping a little bit, I'm sure. But I don't know who was questioning that. I think the Switch 2 is obviously a more of a parity machine to the current gen consoles than Switch 1 was to that generation. So
yeah, because a lot of people, I know Digital Foundry got their review for Final Fantasy VII on Switch 2, but the game's been getting like good reviews, and people said they're shocked on how great it runs and how beautiful it looks on Switch 2. So, with Rebirth and with the third entry, I don't think people will be upset or be mad. But it depends on when the third entry actually releases. It's going to be for well, actually no, because PlayStation 6 is Xbox's next console are on hold till they get more RAM, or I should say delayed and stuff.
Yeah, I mean we don't know that for sure, but also like it's pretty obvious in my opinion. Also, we don't need new PlayStations and Xboxes. We don't need new consoles.
We need more games.
You know what I mean? Like we don't need that right now. I don't even think we need more games. I just think like people just need to be happy with what they have, you know? Like that's my opinion, is like people just need to be happy with what they have, and people need to like just play the games. I feel like we are at a place where like it doesn't matter now. Like it just doesn't matter. Like the only thing I could say about the current generation of consoles is like frame rate. Like, and if you're a frame rate person, then like, you know, I don't know, but that's like I don't know, man.
No one has made the 60 frame rate case to still be the standard. I mean, it's used to sell games, or used to sell boxes, but I'm just like, no, we're still jumping around with frame rate. So if we could get a box that is consistently 60 frames across the board, no matter what game you play on, where you don't have to choose visual or performance and stuff, it should still all be just at 60 and be and set there. You know, you guys got power, but it still feels like you guys are not utilizing that power. So even if we get another console, you're still not going to use that power. There should be no way that I'm doing 30 frames per second on a PS6 or whatever Xbox is. There should be no game, not even indies, should say 30 frames per second. Everything should be straight at 60. If I'm paying $1,000 plus some dollars, or not using that as just a general, that should be the standard for it. I can understand for a Switch if they want to do 30 or 45, but if the Switch 3 is powerful to do 60 for every game, then it should be at 60 for every game.
I mean, I just think like games take so long at this point, and a lot of the audience doesn't even care. I mean, look at what PlayStation was like talking about in their financials. Were like maybe not their most recent one, but maybe like 6 months ago, they were talking about how like 35 to 40% of PSN's active users are still on PlayStation 4, right? So like, why are you going to rush out when over a third of your users are still on the previous generation of consoles? You know what I mean? Like, you have a pro console. We're at the point where, and I actually think Microsoft was on to something when they were calling their like going like, we are not going to do generations anymore. We're going to make power iterations on our consoles, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's what we were kind of talking about, man, a couple years ago. I don't remember if it was like on Arsenal X or on this show or Boss Rush or something, but like consoles need to be more like cell phones now, where like every couple years, here's the newest version of the console, right?
Here's the refinement.
Yeah, and like, okay, yeah, this, you know, this is the 2018 model, or maybe you have like, I don't, even if you go something as basic and as lame as like attaching a year to it or something, like, here's the Xbox 2026, right? And like, the games coming out, you know, these games support, you know, or these games are supported by Xbox, you know, 2021 through 2026, right? And if you purchase, if you have a model number 2020 or before is not supported, right? Like, that's how phones work, you know, like obviously phones are like, you know, everything is updated faster and whatever, but like I think you can generally do that with consoles. I mean, PCs do that now, right? With scalability and operating systems and those types of things, right? Where like certain games just won't work, you know? Like if you don't have Windows 11, like Steam just doesn't work now, apparently. Or like there's a lot of security issues if you don't have Windows 11 now on PC. And so like, I really don't know, you know, and I think this is where we're at with Nintendo now, right? Is like, I think this is the route Nintendo is going. They use the Switch name. They clearly called it a Switch 2. It's backwards compatible with Switch 1 games. You know, certain Switch 2 games have Switch 1 versions, right? I think that's where we're going. I think that's what Microsoft was clearly trying to do with smart delivery. They just,
I mean, that's what Valve is doing. That's what ROG Ally is so like the PC handhelds.
That's what I mean.
All they're
like,
doing.
That's what Microsoft has clearly been trying to do this entire generation, and even parts of last generation, of like, okay, here's the Xbox Series, or here's the Xbox One X versus the Xbox One S versus the Xbox One. Like, here are the changes per version, right? Oh, here's Gears 5. Oh, it has an Xbox Series X version. Oh, well, here are the enhancements you can have if you play on the Xbox Series X versus the Xbox One X versus the base Xbox One. You know, and they did that with Halo Infinite. Like, it's clearly where consoles should be. I feel like we are so stuck in a, you know, everybody wants to see progress and innovation and everything, but like, the next step for progress and innovation is iteration.
But it
right?
comes down to
Like,
cost.
But that's what I'm saying, though, too, right? Is like, you level out the playing field. You make sure everybody can access the game, and they purchase the thing that they are able to buy, and that's where the scalability comes in, right? Like, that's what we've been talking about with scalability between PS5 Pro and PS5 and PS4 Pro and PS4, and then the multiple Xboxes and the Switch and the Switch 2, and, you know, the different parts you buy on PC. Like, you look at the PC and Laurent would know more than me at this essentially, but like you look at Steam and like there's like some chart that says what parts are in the PCs that play games on Steam, and like overwhelmingly majority of PCs and laptops that are playing games on Steam are what PC gamers would probably call potato PCs, of like it's running like a 1080 or whatever, right? Like a low end graphics card, an old graphics card, and the game they just don't care, which is like, oh well, those are the PS4 equivalents, right? Of like, oh, I just don't care to upgrade because this console plays God of War, it plays Fortnite, it plays
but now
Minecraft.
like all of that is changing. Like,
but it's not.
But it is, in a sense, because of the RAM issues. Now a lot of PC players, is like all of that stuff is changing. I'm saying in the fact that, if you got a good graphics card right now and everything, with the way that the RAM issue is going on, you might not be able to even do a reiteration. You might have to literally keep that graphics card for the next 15 years or 10 years or whatever, depending on how AI and all of these farm stuff or however that go. But if they're still making games that work on your graphics card that's still looking nice and stuff, they continue to bring out those games. But
I think we're saying the same thing. I think we're just confused about how each other are saying it. Because because like that's what I'm talking about, is like the scalability aspect. Okay, yeah, RAM is expensive, so somebody who has the money is going to go build a PC and buy the RAM and suck it up, right? But like somebody who might not have the money to do that is going to be stuck on this, older RAM, less RAM, whatever. But the game will still run. It'll still look fine. It might not run at 240 frames a second, but it'll run at 45 frames a second at 1080p, and that's fine for most people.
And that's why I feel like with Series X, S, and PlayStation 5, it's just like there was no, like you said, there's no rush of getting new hardware out. Just give us the games, because this is my thing, and I don't know why I think this, but when people say, well, games cost too much to make, well, you've been showing us through 500,000 CGI trailers, so I know more trailers than I know about the game. Do you have a $200 budget for the trailers to the CGI stuff, and the rest of the game is $100 million to make? Because like, if Fire Emblem Three Houses is made under a $40 million budget, I'll see what that $40 million budget does.
I mean, Pokemon ZA was a $13 million budget, which is hilarious.
And then you see how much they made off of that.
Yeah.
So it's just like, so my thing is, if you got a budget, don't show. I want to see that money go towards the game, not all CG. There's no way in 3 whole years of you developing the game, all I got still to this very day is CGI trailers, and even the gameplay is CGI. It's not actual gameplay till the real game comes out. Like, I want to see what your game is. Like, actual budget money went to a real part of the game that I or the player is going to experience.
Yeah.
And if you could do that on your current consoles, do it on your current consoles.
Yeah. All right, Ed. Let's wrap it there. I think I mean, like I said, I think a lot of people are actually excited for Final Fantasy VII on Switch 2.
Yes.
I hope the other entries look and perform as well as remake seems to be.
Yes.
All right, let's get in the Pack Watch, Ed. We have 4 games to talk about in Pack Watch. I need your energy, Ed.
Backwatch.
Thank you. Here are the games that you can buy on your Nintendo Switch and Switch 2 right now. Astro Party EX comes out on January 27th. So some of these games will be out by the time you hear this episode on podcast services. There's no price listed. So I'm not sure how much it costs, but it comes out on Monday, apparently. Or Tuesday, whatever day that is. Astro Party EX is a chaotic local multiplayer space brawler. Blast enemy ships, run over pilots, and laugh while you do it. The twists: ships can only turn right. What? All right. On 128, I think a lot of people who've been waiting for this on Switch and Switch 2. Dispatch is coming. It's $29.99 USD. There's a deluxe edition for $39.99 USD. Dispatch is a superhero workplace comedy where choices matter. Manage a dysfunctional team of misfit heroes and strategize who to send to emergencies around the city, all while balancing office politics, personal relationships, and your own quest to become a hero. And all episodes will be available at launch. Grid Legends is coming out on 129 for $39.99 USD. Grid Legends delivers Grid Legends delivers thrilling wheel-to-wheel motorsport action. Create dream races, hop into live races, experience a dramatic virtual production story, and embrace the sensation of spectacular racing. And then finally on 130, a game we talked about, I think, a year ago at this point, Nickelodeon Splat Pack for $14.99 USD. Relive the 90s in this collection of classic Nickelodeon games. Guts, Rocko's Modern Life, and Real Monsters are back. So,
Are they from the Super Nintendo days?
I think some of them are NES games. I think Rocko's Modern Life is an NES game.
I thought that was Super Nintendo.
I mean, it might be. I don't know. I don't know. That Rugrats game was an NES game, but I don't remember any of these, so I can't tell you exactly. Sure. But
I just remember Ren and Stimpy on the Super Nintendo.
God, Ren and Stimpy. So I mean, out of these four games, I think Dispatch is kind of the highlight, in my opinion.
Dispatch and Grid Legends, I would say, for me.
Yeah, Grid Legends has been out on other platforms for a while, though, so I think that's why it's not as high. Mm-hmm. But Dispatch, I think, is clearly the winner in this group of games. There's a lot of updates this week on Games Ed. Like I said earlier, the Super Mario Galaxy movie Nintendo Direct will be Sunday, January 25th. This episode comes out on podcast services on the 28th, so it will have already happened. Maybe we will do a Nintendo Direct, maybe not. Check the YouTube channel or social media or whatever for details, I guess.
Yes.
But let's get into some of these game updates. Ball Pit. Ball Pit's first free content update for Switch drops on January 26th, adding 2 new characters, 8 new balls, and more chaotic surprises to the addictive roguelike. Hitman World of Assassination adds cross-progression on February 3rd, letting players carry over levels, unlocks, and story progress across all platforms. The Freeze Break event is now live on Donkey Kong Bonanza's Emerald Rush DLC, challenging players to complete the freezer layer with limited perks to earn Tux and Lord Frederick statues. I hope people who played that know what that means, because I didn't get that far.
Exactly.
Nintendo Today app expands to Argentina, Israel, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE. United Arab Emirates is what that stands for you people out there.
Okay.
For you geography nerds. Pokemon Legends ZA on Switch and Switch 2 has received its version 2.0.1 update, adding fixes for Mega Dimension DLC, adjustments to item purchases, and increasing the maximum number of Mega Shards from 999 to 9,999. It's a lot.
Exactly.
It's 9,000 more. You math nerds.
Wow.
Oh, geez. I'm tired, man. Nintendo's released version 3.1.0 for Donkey Kong Bonanza on Switch and... on Switch 2, not Switch 1. Adding the Polish language support and addressing various unspecified issues to improve the overall gameplay experience. Okay. Nintendo's first 2026 update for Mario Kart World brings version 1.5.0, adding team races to Knockout Tour, Polish language support, and various fixes to improve online and local gameplay. Last but not least, Psyonix's latest Rocket League update brings a series of visual and performance improvements for Nintendo Switch 2, including 1080p at 60 frames a second for both docked and handheld modes, higher texture and world detail, improved lighting and shadows, and simplified graphic settings that remove the performance quality toggle. Nintendo Switch Online updates. Really, only Nintendo Music has some, with Phantom Hourglass. The Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass from DS has been added.
Yes.
And then, I don't remember if we mentioned this in the last episode or not, but Mario and Luigi Brothership has also been added to Nintendo Music recently. So those are tracks you can bump to on your way to work or sleep or whatever. I also don't remember if we mentioned that Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, that Nintendo Music track, those tracks have also been added when the game dropped on NSO. All right, Ed. We are in the home stretch here of this almost 4-hour episode, which is great. Feels very old school. I just wish we started earlier, honestly. But we have 3 questions for now. If you want to ask a question, you can email us at nintendopowblock@gmail.com or find us on various social media networks. Join our Discord. There are plenty of ways to ask, including Blue Sky. Our old friend Deshaun Malone via Blue Sky asks, how y'all feeling about the future of retro games library on NSO? What is the next console you think will make the service?
The same way that I've been feeling on Switch, I'm excited for it. There's more games to come to NSO. There's once again still more Japanese games that have not released in America coming to the console. For Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and 64. I think I would love to see more Sega Genesis games come. And the next one, I think that will come to NSO. I believe it's going to be the TurboGrafx 16/PC engine.
That seems like a shoe-in, I think. Like, because it was on Wii Virtual Console, right? Like, I'm just trying to think of the consoles that were on Virtual Console. Like, that just seems like an easy shoe-in, especially for like that $20 tier, I think. Right?
Yeah, and they could also do like the PC Engine one that they had. It was kind of like short-lived. They didn't have a lot of games for it, but that didn't come over to America. But like TurboGrafx and make a TurboGrafx CD also, like all together, they could literally put all of that on NSO. I mean, we mentioned Dreamcast for the 100th time, so that's not expected now. What would like shock my mind would be like Neo Geo or 3Duo. Definitely Neo Geo because of Smash, a Fatal Fury being in Smash.
I think, man, the two realistic ones in my mind, like that would be next. Now that we're kind of in this generation, would be Dreamcast for one, and Wii would be the other. Considering that, like the emulation for GameCube and Wii are essentially identical. I mean, not really identical, but like you look at the emulators out there, a lot of the Wii emulators run GameCube games, and a lot of the GameCube emulators run Wii games, like Dolphin specifically. And so, like, to me, and also like the way they ported Mario Galaxy over and Skyward Sword and some of these other Wii games to the Switch and Switch 2, like, I don't know. I just feel like that emulation is already, like, I don't want to say done, but like the brunt work is done, and so like just tailoring the games to that emulation is kind of what they need to do now. And then Dreamcast is just like, I mean, that thing's been emulated to death across the board, and also like a lot of those games are already available in HD on other consoles, like, you know, Crazy Taxi. Say what you want about the music, right? But I mean, Crazy Taxi has been available on Xbox forever. Jet Set Radio and Jet Grind Radio are both on Xbox and Xbox 360. Sonic Adventure, you know, Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2 are on Xbox Live Arcade, like through 360 backwards compatibility. I mean, no Blue Stinger yet, but fingers crossed. You know, no Ill Bleed yet on people hate when I mention Blue Stinger. But I mean, Dreamcast seems, gosh, what is Sega waiting on? Are they just like, I feel like a lot of the things are like music related.
Yeah.
Right? Like Jet Set Radio is, I feel like, clearly music related. A lot of their racing games, I feel like, are music related, like Daytona USA, right? Like Crazy Taxi was clearly music related. I mean, remember when Crazy Taxi came out on Xbox 360 via Xbox Live Arcade, and like,
yeah,
it was missing like all of the music. It was just generic punk rock, and like people were, where's the music? Where's the, you know, where's
because all the licensed music was taken out.
Yeah, it's just like, oh my gosh, because like that. I mean, that when you turn the game on, that yeah from gosh, what is the band? Why am I blanking on the band? Gosh. I almost said Fall Out Boy. That's incredibly incorrect. Anyways, that like that music is so tied to that game, right? And even the timer like feels like it's ticking down to the beat of those songs, and it's like, where is it? You know, and so yeah, I don't know, man. I just you know, and then like the RPGs too.
Is it All I Want by the Offspring?
The Offspring, thank you. Oh my gosh, idiot. All right. Anyways, then you got all the great RPGs like Skies of Arcadia, right? Like, where's Skies of Arcadia? Yeah, that could easily be put on the GameCube NSO because of the extra content, but like, it's a Dreamcast game. You know, Shenmue 1 and 2. Yeah, there are ports of those games, but like Dreamcast games, you know, Power Stone, right? I mean, I think that's in the Capcom Fighting Collection too, but like, you know, there are several things Sega, if Sega's not going to release a collection themselves, like, at least let Nintendo do it. You know what I mean? Like, give me those nasty Dreamcast controllers, make them wireless so we're not tying the freaking cord underneath it, which was the most annoying thing. You know, like, I don't know, man. Like, I just feel like the Dreamcast has been so lost to time, and it doesn't need to be. You know,
right.
It makes me sad to see the Dreamcast kind of it's faded away, you know, and it's not like it's a great console. It has great versions of Tony Hawk, you know, 2 Tony Hawk games on there. Dave Mirra BMX game, like the BMX games on there were great. Like, horror games. It had, Code Veronica. It had, it's just like there's so many games on there, like Choo Choo Rocket even, and dumb games like that. And I think like what Billy Hatcher is a Sega game, but I think that was a GameCube only game, right? So like, I don't know, man. I just feel like Sega has so much classic Sega to offer, and they don't do it. And like even like Saturn and Sega CD are missing. I don't care how dumb Sewer Shark is, but like let someone play it somewhere. Somebody wants to play it.
I know Saturn would take a long time, but if they could get it working, put it on the internet. So
yeah, and I understand a lot of these third parties or like these classic gaming companies want to make their own collections, so they make money off of them, right? Like rightfully so, because like if you made a Sonic Adventure Legacy collection with Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 in it, like and like gave it its own version of the Chow Garden, like people would go nuts.
Yeah.
Or like if you made Skies of Arcadia HD for $39.99 the way that Tales of Symphonia came out, right? Like I would eat that up. I love Skies of Arcadia. I love Skies of Arcadia so much. But like, I don't know, man. It just makes me sad that Sega's so lost. Like not the company itself. They're actually doing great, but like just their history has kind of been like really confined to these like 20 Genesis games. And it's like, that's it.
Yeah, they're Sega now it's just like, okay, some of our games we could give to that like .mu with them, and they can make these indie games and stuff. But it's just like Sonic is our bread and butter, so we're working on that. Wow.
But even Sonic 3 is tied so much to that like licensed music, that like in Sonic CD also, like those games are so tied to that licensed music that they changed it for the Sonic Origins collection. That music is different.
Yeah.
Which I don't care. It's fine, but like at least the games are available. But like that music, especially the Sonic CD opening song, was like so stupid and fun. And now it's just kind of like generic Sonic music,
Yeah.
Which again is fine. I don't care that much, but like it just sucks that it's so like the music is like a lot of it is like the music is holding the stuff up. It sucks. But anyways, I would like to see Wii and Dreamcast on it. So or if they're really gonna put out that second screen, man, the DS, man, dude, if they put the DS on there, it's over. People would go nuts for DS. Imagine Brain Age on two 8-inch screens instead of two 3.5-inch screens. You know what I mean? Dude, Brain Age, man, what a lightning in a bottle those games were.
$20.
Dang. All right. Ashley K via email writes in, "Hey guys, I've been listening for a few episodes now and I can't get enough. I got a Switch 2 for Christmas and have already upgraded Animal Crossing, Zelda, and Pokemon ZA. My question is what games do you hope get proper Switch 2 upgrades? Loving the show, 5 stars all around." Well, Ashley, welcome to the show. Thanks for listening.
Thank you. Yes.
If you got this far. I mean, I feel like there are obvious ones, right? Like Xenoblade, all the Xenoblade games are obvious ones. I feel like, I mean, the Mario games have already gotten it. Most of the Zelda games have already gotten like their free updates. I mean, I'm looking at third-party games essentially. You go ahead first, though, Ed.
I would say Metroid Remastered. Hopefully that gets a Switch 2 upgrade.
It will. It'll come in a Switch 2 remastered trilogy with 2 and 3 in it.
But like, just give it some more oomph in the frame rate in a sense. Like, they wouldn't have to really do too much. I mean, if they want to tighten up some more of the graphics, they can, but it would just be, do a nice frame rate and some quality of life things. I say they could do that.
Yeah.
I mean, they already did not Link's Awakening.
I mean, they did do Link's Awakening and Echoes of Wisdom.
Yeah, Echoes of Wisdom. That's what I was thinking of, fixing that. They did Jamboree.
My choice, Ed.
Astral Chain.
Yeah, that's
I think needs a proper one.
I mean, Astral Chain, anything that Platinum did, right? The Bayonetta games, Nier. I think those 5 games from Platinum deserve a Switch 2 version. 60 frames a second, 4K, especially Bayonetta and like Astral Chain. Like, it's not as fast paced as Bayonetta, right? But like, man, it could use that 4K graphical overhaul, right? Like, and just, oh my gosh, could you imagine if Bayonetta and Astral Chain got 4K, 60 frames, maybe even 120 frame modes for Switch 2, like, especially Bayonetta at 120 frames, maybe 1080p 120 frames like Metroid Prime 4.
Dude, Bayonetta 2 back at 60 frames.
Bayonetta 3 might actually function as a video game.
I say it does.
I know. I like to give it a hard time. People like to give it a hard time.
I mean, we said Kingdom Hearts and Control.
I mean, those just deserve
actual games.
Yeah. My picks, Ed, would be both mainline Fire Emblem games and the Warriors games.
Yeah.
And if you're only going to pick one Warriors game, it would be Three Hopes, right? Like, I think, especially, I feel like in the near future, they are going to announce a Switch 2 version of Three Houses. It also depends on when Fortune's Weave comes out, right? Because like if it's that May date that we talked about last week that has been rumored, like they would have had to have done it now, right? But like you could include a Switch 2 Definitive Edition that includes the House of Ashes DLC, or that's what it was called, right? That DLC they put out was called House of Ashes, right? So, I mean, I feel you could do that or something. I don't know. I really feel like that game deserves some love. And Engage also, like, man, I would play through both those games again if you did that. But those would be my picks. Would be the 2 main Fire Emblem games, and then Three Hopes if you're going to pick one Warriors game. But also Age of Calamity too, man. The Hyrule Warriors games too. Like, I feel like those deserve Switch 2 versions, or at least updates. All right. It looks like our last question of the day comes from Retro Stoy. Never heard of that guy. Just kidding. We love Stoy. He's on Gamescast with Pat now, so you should check that out. What do you think? You should also check out his retro video game podcast. It's pretty interesting. He talks about his pickups and retro games and stuff like that. What do you think we'll get for the Zelda content this year for the 40th anniversary? A remake or a new game? Man,
I think we'll get I think we'll get an announcement for the next Zelda game. Like we'll see it. We'll definitely see more of a trailer. As a game wise, I think depending on what, because I think all the Zelda, most of the adventure Zelda games, I believe all of them are on NSO.
I think every Zelda game is on there except for the DS and 3DS games.
Because it's Majora's Mask on NSO? Okay.
The games we're missing are the GameCube ones. So like Four Swords, the Four Swords GameCube game, the Master Quest for Ocarina, and Twilight Princess. So the games we're missing.
Okay.
So I imagine. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, so this is going to go in with the first question. I think Skyward Sword HD that came on Switch is going to get a free upgrade.
Yeah, I could see that.
And they're going to fix some things in that game.
Oh, please do. Like, I don't know. Holding down the trigger to use the camera. No. You should hold down the trigger to not use the camera. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, oh my gosh. Sorry. Keep going.
No, so I think that's going to be something that they'll do, upgrade it, and then they'll probably be like, okay, here go the Switch Super Retros of Twilight Princess and Wind Waker. Because I think they want to get the whole Zelda games on there, besides the CDI games.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I mean, I bet that so let me back up a minute. We are due for a remake or a remaster. If you look at the cadence of the Zelda games, right? Like, we are due for a remake or a remaster. We got the 3D Zelda in 2023. 2024, we got Echoes of Wisdom, which was the 2D game, a 2D game. Last year, we got Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. We are due for the HD remaster / remake of something. I really hope NSO is not all we get for that in the movie. My hope, Ed, my absolute hope. Not only is it the 40th anniversary of Zelda, it is the 20th anniversary of Twilight Princess. Can we please get Twilight Princess HD with new amiibo on the Switch and Switch 2? I don't even care if it's a Switch 1 release, right? Like Mario Galaxy, right? Just let's put it on a platform that I can unplug 2 generations ago. Like, Twilight Princess HD and Wind Waker are literally the only reasons my Wii U is plugged in now. The only reasons. And if my son maybe trips over Yoshi's Woolly World, man, we're on the final boss of Yoshi's Crafted World, and he just refuses to play it anymore. I'm like, we're right here. And I know he's gonna want to play Mysterious Book, right? So, like,
yeah,
I got to get him to finish this game with me, but I think we're gonna maybe play video games tomorrow. He's been asking me to play video games this week because he's had snow days, and like, he was off school today because of parent-teacher conferences, because they can't teach and talk to parents at the same time and in the same day, apparently. I don't know what's up with that. I mean, it's freaking like $600 a month to send him there, and they can't, like, it's ridiculous, dude. I cannot wait till preschool's over. It is so expensive for nothing. Anyways, my hope is that they will do a 4K version of Twilight Princess. It doesn't have to be a remake. It doesn't have to be anything special. I just want a widescreen HD, maybe 4K version that runs at 60 frames a second, hopefully, of Twilight Princess. I will buy it a 4th time, Nintendo. I will buy it a 4th time. Just give it to me. It's time for a remake or a remaster. Anniversaries line up, right? You can also flop it out on NSO if you want to. I don't care. But, like, just give it to me, Ed. Give it to me. You know what they could do? They could put out the HD version of Twilight Princess this year, and then put out 4 Swords and the Master Quest on NSO. And then, like, you know, maybe next year they can throw GameCube version of Twilight Princess on NSO just to appease people who don't want to pay for it a fourth time like me.
Well,
that's what I want. That's what I want, Ed. I just want Twilight Princess, Ed. I just want Twilight Princess and new amiibo.
Games.
Give me new amiibo. Give me Twilight Princess amiibo of like Link, Zelda. Give me True Form Midna. Give me Zant. Give me Phantom Ganon. Give me Ganon and Ganondorf. Give me the weird pig version of Ganon, right? Like the Twilight pig version of Ganon, where you're like, literally the tutorial at the beginning of the game is how you fight Ganon. You know, like give me all that. I don't care.
They're gonna remake Oracles and Seasons.
Oh God! Look, please don't. So look, those games are good games, but like, please don't. Give me Twilight Princess. Please give me Twilight Princess this year. Well, I'm begging Nintendo. Okay. I don't care what I have to do for it.
We'll see in the future.
But that's it, Ed. That's all of our questions. That's all we got.
All right, he did. Thank you for watching and or listening to this episode of Nintendo Pow Block. If you joined us live, follow or subscribe to the channel you're watching if you haven't done so already. If you're watching later on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share your thoughts in the comments, whether it's on today's topic or a new idea we could discuss in a future episode. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, consider leaving us a 5-star review, 5-star rating, and a nice review, as it helps us with discoverability and reach. You can support Boss Rush on Patreon at patreon.com/BossRushNetwork at a tier that's right for you. You can even follow for free and gain access to all of our base shows on one feed. Thank you again for watching and or listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody. Woohoo!
Goodbye. If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Sana Dirrig, Francisco Santillan, and Christian S. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network.